We got our first team set up, and they're loading up into the game right now. We're going to be looking at Fred and Ambi. Ambi making his return comeback this first games of March, and then we also have Kashayar and Starduck, William and Rockchalk, and Junis and Oblivion. We're jumping into the game right now.
This is well, what's up, everybody? Hey, this is very easy for me to root for Ambidextrous. Like, I would love to see. I assume he's rusty, right? Because he hasn't played. I presume he hasn't been playing as much, playing other things, no big deal. But how do you root against Ambi? It's his first game back. Also, no trigger means we might actually have a non-trigger winner.
Yeah.
Somehow he'll still win, right? Like, he'll still end up winning. But like, let's go Ambi.
I think he's going on like 5 games in a row too. So it's just definitely beastly there. All right.
I think somebody posted in the. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say top left, we got Cash and Starduck. In top right, we have Fox and RCJH. Bottom right, Oblivion and Junis. And then bottom left, we have Fred and Ambi. So, yeah, it looks like Ambi on his first night back is going to be laning Junis. That's a scary lane. I just played with Junis in a pub game earlier today, and I did not win. I don't know if that's...
It happens.
I don't know if that's a gauge of how good Junis is since he was playing me or not, but I did not win.
He's there's no question. You watch his late game. He's very, very good late game. Good early game, just all around very solid. Wow! And then as I speak, we have a nuke going down in about 2 minutes on this one. So, someone instant nuke. Who was it? I didn't even catch who it was.
I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say it was Fred.
Is it opposite day? What the hell is going on here?
No, it was not Fred. Let's see, who was it exactly? It looks like it was Brown, RC. I'm sorry, Oblivion. But you know that actually fits into Oblivion's strategy if you've ever played with them. What he will do is early nuke and then ignore you if you are his lane and try to go feed on other players. And then once he gets a sizable advantage, then he'll come back and try to lane you.
He just got hammered by RCJH as he got a nuke dropped on him, so it'll be interesting to see if that alters that play at all, because it kind of puts, it's the very boring early game where you have to re-wait for your arm to max out, so plays it all.
Trigger saying in the stream chat, bring on the praise, he can eat it.
Well, it'll be interesting. I want to say Fred was saying the record was 4. I think Triggered has 5. Also, I think someone posted in Discord, Trigger's win rate is like 9%, which is, in a game with this much variance, is like completely fucking absurd, just to be honest. It's a win rate that is with 4 teams all trying to get to first clearly, and nobody's bad. There is no bad player in any of these games effectively ever, yet he stands alone atop of it, and the win rate shows. Like, you can't argue with the statistics.
Yep. All right, so first place so far, we got Junis 800 points, followed by Fred at 600 and RCJH at 600 as well. Ambi not doing so good right now for his first day back, sitting at 300 against Junis here, but let's see if he's able to do something there, make a comeback.
This is a spot Ambi's in where he might have to, if he was thinking about not nuking early, he might have to readjust. It's so far behind where he's in such a bad spot it just snowballs to where you're just bottom of the barrel the entire game. Of course, you look for as juicy of a nuke as you possibly can. Picking up 50 minerals there helps, but yeah, Junis, let's be honest, there are no easy lanes in this one. Junis, the easiest lane, even if there are no easy lanes. So it kind of puts him in a bad spot to be behind early on.
Ambi doing his normal Ambi stuff. He had his little SCV hit squad go over there on Junis, poke at him.
Peeled it off.
But he definitely has to keep up the pressure to letting Junis, feed on top right there. And Junis does drop his first bunker 6 minutes into the game here.
That is quick.
That is very quick. Look at his upgrades, 2, 4, 2, 2, and 4. Wow. He got some assistance there from Oblivion.
Must have. That's a good point.
And nuke does
so
go
I think
down.
Ambi just... I don't know, who was it? Was it Fred? Or was it...
No, that I believe was Junis himself. And here comes... Ambi throws a turret here.
So Fred and him must be saying they're going to go for it. Because Actually, a good nuke in RCJH shows up at the exact right time to probably stop this. Normal play around these types of situations will be attempting to block the bunk, and then when it's clear it's not going to go down, you attempt to snipe the other team. So I assume he's going to have to cancel it, and he does. Also, a nuke goes off the top about the same time as that's going on.
Yeah, a lot of cancellations going there. Fred, taunting with his SCV, but come on, let's face it, we all know Fred wasn't going to do that.
There's really good spots to bait somebody by sending your SCV just right into their army in an attempt to, if they're good enough, figure it out, like bait the nuke and then have their army back off. If Fred does it before an hour into the game, probably just going to ignore and try and snipe the SCV. No, there's no threat there at all.
All right, looks like Oblivion's going to go for his bunker instead here of Junis, and be coming in on the flank to put on some pressure here. They're actually not in that good of a position. They are in a large risk right here to be able to get it canceled again there. Junis trying to put down a shield tower to help him out, but Ambi, meanwhile, gets us around on his back bunker. There's only one Marine loaded in there.
Actually, sometimes you go from first to worst. This might be one of the spots where RCJH has played spoiler to Junis, where he's been able to... It's over. I hate to call it so early, but this bunker is dead with no nukes in bottom.
And Fred might just nuke it just for show.
Nuke say, fuck it. One time? He had... Actually, I think nuking's right. I think nuking's correct.
Do it!
He has to throw it down.
No, a turret! A turret?
And it gets sniped? No, Fred, please. Please get this bunker. Junis, I'm not rooting against you. And he won't respawn to... Fred, can we have a talk, Fred? I know you can't hear me right now, but Fred, buddy, pal.
What do you guys think of that in the stream chat? Was it worth him dropping the nuke and killing the lane? Maybe, I think we all know turret might have been bad play there, but was it worth the nuke in that case? Would you have dropped the nuke to finish off the bunker? Let us know.
Trying to think of spots that have higher value than nuking a bunker that is guaranteed to die. Also, think of the equity switch. So if he throws a turret, if he doesn't throw a turret, he's got 225 in the bank, plus the 500 for the nuke that goes down, plus he kills an army and an SCV. So a small army, but say he gets 100 in minerals from nuking there. At what point are you looking for better equity? 10 minutes into the game. Pulling it for later, debatable, but man, that's a tough one. I'm sure he's not super excited right now.
Hey, Cashiar saying, hey, you're not rusty enough, RCJ. It's just probably pointing in that he's doing pretty darn good right now for the match, leading the way. 2,000 at top score, RCJH. Junis following in, 1,900. Even with him almost getting eliminated there, with him not, he got a little bit of good feed. And let's see, bunker upgrades, he did dump that into bunker upgrades, so 5 and 5 sitting right now on Junis's bunker. And then Oblivion, third place, 1,800, Starduck, 1,700. Yeah, Ambi and Fred still a little bit at the bottom of the scoreboard, so this is going to be imperative. They need to get this bunker up right now that Ambi has thrown down. They can't afford to get canceled again. Look at this.
He gets what he deserves. Yeah, by scouting. I mean, it ends up going for the SCV, but he does even... And it's probably correct to play defensively when you're throwing a bunker down, especially when you're behind an upgrades from your lane. But he gets a free 100 just for scouting, so good shit, Ambi. I'd be interested in... I almost want to say I didn't click Junis's bunker when it was probably about 100 health. My assumption is if that bunker is 4 armor, 4 regen, it's dead. So 5-5 ended up being the theoretically optimal number to be able to hold onto the bunker and then not throw any more money into it. This is kind of crazy to think about.
Starduck getting a good position here on Ambi. Ambi stuck there up in the front, able to load his front bunker, but still his back one only has 1 Marine in it. Starduck is ignoring it, going right in for Fred. I think Fred will be okay here, actually. It'll probably work out for Fred. He's used to this.
Everybody except for Fred, which I agree, this is kind of his standard play here, has a second bunk. Junis is throwing his other than Junis, who had a bunk, lost it, and then almost lost his OG bunk too. But everybody kind of moving up the ladder towards the mid game here. But RCJH with 8 attack, 6 defense. I think that's tops for that's right now in the game.
Yeah. And he's leading the scoreboard, 3,000. You can see that he's sitting on this 2 bunker thing, and I like it. The advantage is you can definitely get high on the scoreboard. The disadvantage is you get high on the scoreboard, and you only have 2 bunkers when everyone decides they want to attack you.
This is a very interesting dichotomy when you have 2 bunks, top score. It's one of those things I've mentioned a bunch of times on the stream where you have to attempt to manage your success as best you can. Sometimes having everybody else group up slightly behind you and then having your teammate not in second, so people don't be like, oh, top 2 in the scoreboard, and then everybody kind of quadruple teams there. It'll be interesting. He says he's rusty, even though, well, now he dropped in second. Playing very good so far.
Yeah, what do you think of Genesis upgrades? This is kind of interesting. 2, 6, 3, 2, 4. That's an interesting one.
When you have micro as good as his, 6 or 7 speed early, my early game micro isn't super great, so high speed for me gets me out of bad positions and allows me to run into better positions, right? So you can get in and out of bad positions and try not to have your army wash when you can't resupply quickly. However, with somebody like his spot where he kind of had to, and I mean really had no choice but to throw money into the bunkers, cutting somewhere, speed's probably the best place to cut, as you basically need offense and defense to be able to move forward.
Huge nuke going down just to try to, deny those rods, and they do get the cancel in bottom left there.
Yeah, it was Starduck. Actually ends up being a great nuke, gets a bunch of value, and cancels a bunker. And should put him in first.
Junis is still low and no upgrades. He's feeding Oblivion at this point. I was wondering that. I'm like, well, wow, well, maybe all that dumping into the bunker upgrades really put him behind, but he's sitting at 64 minerals right now. No change in upgrades or status and whatnot, so we're seeing him dump into Oblivion at this point.
Be repaying from the early game? Because the premise was he had gotten dumped into, so he might just be paying back.
Yeah.
Like where, yeah, go ahead.
No, I didn't think about that, but I think he's continuously feeding right now into Oblivion. We'll see how it goes.
Starduck had his SCV in a really good spot. I think it may have gotten killed, so it respawned. That's what I was going to say earlier. It got respawned by his bunker, which is dies off. RCH out of a little bit out of position. He doesn't get his bunker sniped. Starduck pulling the army. Great shape. What are the bunker upgrades? Zeros?
Yeah, 2-2 now, but just a little too late, and that bunker does go down without no nuke turret needed there.
You go from first to worst, except this time it actually happened. Well, second to worst, this time it actually happened. First time Junis was able to put it together. This is actually, I like Fox's position, though it obviously doesn't help having your partner having a bunker destroyed there, but he has 2 upgraded marine bunkers. They're very competitive in terms of upgrades, and that actually sets up really, really good for late game as the inevitability of somebody taking marauders. Of course, those counter directly. So he actually might be in a uniquely good spot. Fred, again, getting a bunker tonight, being stuck on 1 bunk. Now, 18 minutes in the game. Enough behind to go ahead and rebuild if he wants.
What's top right doing? Good question. So they were not aware of the damage that Oblivion was able to inflict on there.
It's a tough one. I would think it's fine to call out. Well, I think people react differently when you call out information, particularly in the mid game. I think top right effectively called out the fact that that bunker got sniped. Some of the time that shows blood in the water and people come running straight to you. Other times it shows that somebody else is going way above and beyond, so people start running elsewhere. Route was running out, but of course now everybody knows.
All right, score check going on. We got Starduck. He's jumped up to 8,300 points with the fresh new bank file of his. That's leading the way there. Fox second place, 5,600. Oblivion 5,200. RCJH 5,100. Still bottom left, just a little bit lagging, but each corner has their own power player so far in this match.
Ambi's upgrades are a fair bit better than Junis's. I know they're getting pressure from Starduck, but it's one of those spots where if we're on autopilot, you would want to, if you're Ambi, you want to run straight over to Junis as many opportunities as the game gives you. 9 attack, 5 defense versus 2 and 6. advantage. You would want to run right into that, as you're almost guaranteed, even if you put yourself in a bad position, to be able to take better engagement.
Oh no, and Cash IR realizing that we are in Western server, which
Tough for him, man.
that is true. It's odd. We actually had Oblivion create the game because he said he spawns in Eastern servers, but something went bad.
Wish I could lie and say what I know, like it's playing on Australian ping. I don't. I've never been. I would die to go to Australia. I'm sure it's quite nice this time of year, but yeah, playing zone control on Western server from all the way over really makes it difficult, especially when you play at a high level.
I think there's no question that Junis is feeding Oblivion completely at this point. He's still sitting on 2-6. Junis, or I don't know. Actually, he's throwing down the
bunk.
He just threw down the bunk. But oh my gosh, I think I'd actually rather have upgrades than sit on 2 bunkers longer if that's how long it took him to fund up a third. I mean, he's going
Looks like
2, 6, and 4. He's engaging Cash AR now, which is 7-7-7. He's not gonna have a good time with that.
Oh, and Cass gets to see the middle, which means he can see the bunk. He should be able to snipe this SCV, and then it'll be interesting if he calls it out or if he decides to... Junis accidentally decided... Yeah, he does call it out. Junis accidentally clicked on the bunkers if it was finished to put units in. It didn't end up working out. Oblivion might be there enough to defend. The call out actually happens as everybody descends on bottom right. That doesn't always work that way, but in this instance it looks like it will.
Yeah, this has actually put Junis down towards the bottom of the leaderboard now. Oblivion's still doing halfway okay, 3rd place, but this is definitely going to set the team back.
So the turrets go down to see if they can't get this bunk.
Alas, it kind of looks like everyone kind of backed off there for the most part. And here they come again.
His SCV was repairing Oblivion's bunker. This is going to get down. It's stayed down as well, plus he has really good bunker upgrades
That team
from the
has
early
9
game.
lives, I swear.
Sometimes it just works out.
Meanwhile, Cash
Man,
does
his
get his
upgrades-
3rd bunker down himself as well. It looks like Cash is going for a Reaper play here.
Fox has 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10 for upgrades. I appreciate the balance. Something, you got to balance your portfolio, so I appreciate how balanced that is.
I like it, to be honest. I always find I do a little bit better, actually, with a balanced armor and weapon upgrade these days. I used to be more favored towards weapons, but I kind of do what Fox is doing. Maybe not that balanced, but...
I think if you're going to slack, especially as it goes into mid-game, with an all-marine army, you take money out of speed upgrade, as you're going to get stim anyway, and that kind of makes up for it. And then you put that into your bunkers. You Merc in your bunkers are getting like a SimCity going on with turrets or whatever. But, yeah, in general, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 is going to put him a fair bit ahead of Oblivion and Unison bottom right.
Trigger accidentally calling out one of the wrong players there in the stream chat because of the quality. Hey man, we got 2,500 bits here, and that's the trigger bit rate. Let me know if you can handle more. We'll bump it up.
Somebody sponsor Trigger for something, and please let it be like just Time Warner, so we can get some good internet for the kid. One of these years, buddy, you'll get good internet. Don't worry. Well, interesting, I just mentioned if I'm going to pull money out of upgrades, I'd pull it out of speed. He just slapped 3 more upgrades from 10 to 13 on speed.
You guys are on the right wavelength here, but he is in trouble. Looks like this bunker is going to go down. RCJH not able to get there in time. And look at Cash here. He's reinforcing with a very... No, you can't fold it. Never mind. It looked like he was going to put a very aggressive forward Marine bunker just to solidify their position there.
It's actually kind of my standard in like a regular game is to go, your standard bunker, Reaper, and then as soon as you see Rotters pull down, in that spot particularly, another Marine bunker and then build supply in between. Certain times you got to get a tank, or certain times you got to, maybe you go for mid or something crazy, especially in a pub game. But I actually like the infrastructure that allows you to kind of build outward, get a fair amount of supply if you Merc that stuff, and then obviously still use the tank spot for late game.
Upgrade complete.
All right, and Ambi trying to politic to try to get rods up to help with Starduck, who is just absolutely running away with this game now, sitting at 17,000 points. His partner Cashiar in at 8,400 points.
this is just to juxtapose English the spot that we're currently in. The bunker early game. Not in this game, but how often do you think he's in first? The upgrades or the bunker advantage that he gets over Starduck while he's laning them? It feels like it's a completely different game, so it's interesting to see how the early game is, in this instance, particularly going towards the late game and in a uniquely undesirable spot. Starduck's upgrades are killer too.
Yeah, that Marauder bunker is completely surrounded. Looks like they are going to pick off this Marauder bunker here from RCJH2 unless Oblivion comes and saves it, but it does go down.
Oh, I'll say it is that time where top left needs to start managing their success, and I think RCH calling the fact that he was dying kind of lets everybody know that, hey, look at the score, top left kind of way ahead. We'll see if that happens.
Yep, Starduck now just under 20,000 points. Fox still second place, 13,000 points. So sizable gap between first and second. Oblivion 10,000, 9,000. Fred at the bottom, 6,000 points there. And he's got his one Reaper bunker up.
Goes ahead and takes Marauders. It'll be. It's scouted immediately.
I really don't understand the strategy from Junis. Look at how much infrastructure he has, but his upgrades are just very far below everyone else. Let's see, he is near the bottom of his leaderboard, but I think it's investing a little bit too much in that infrastructure. Unless their whole strategy is he just gives support to Oblivion, which is going to be the hammer for everyone.
It's interesting, the scoreboard is slightly misleading. Starduck is discernibly way out in front. Fox is not as in good a position as anybody but top right would know. Top left, I think, took out one of his bunkers, so that put him a little bit behind. RGH has lost 2 bunkers, so his score isn't as good as it looks either. So top left is deceptively even further ahead, as Starduck has no competition and it's like basically double anybody else's score. Junis actually has 2 Marauder bunkers, which I, to be frank, missed. And supply, but yeah, his upgrades. And was he building an Oblivion building on the other side? Okay. That actually makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It seems like he's investing a lot in the infrastructure, but my only guess is just to try to hold off while Oblivion does his work on top right, and then everyone else.
Has built 2 supply depots in the standard, in my opinion, supply depot spot, and is now attempting to build this bunk. He's got a fair bit more supply than Fox, his lane mate, but his upgrades are a little bit behind. Actually, a fair bit behind when you look down to the right.
This is a risky bunker here from Oblivion. That is his normal strategy. I don't think he was able to coordinate with Junis. He usually likes to take his teammate's spot right there. So forced up 1 spot up there. And let's see, Junis is calling truce on bottom left. Ooh, that is going to definitely help out Oblivion there.
He calls him a smart man. I agree, top left kind of needs to be the focus.
If Fox snipes me, it's war. Well, probably unlikely. If Fox is able to snipe you, something went really wrong.
Can run across the entire map. That would be in pretty bad shape for just 2 bunks, not much supply. Starduck with good upgrades. Man.
Here comes the Oblivion hit squad.
Yeah, I love it.
Oblivion's in a tough spot. He's not able to kind of really get that much of leverage on it, so he goes right for Cash's bunker, and that bunker is going to go down from Cash.
So I want to commend Oblivion on that one. He actually, Starduck does have 2 SCVs. I like it. My first thought when I saw 2 SCVs, I was like, what the hell, 2 SCVs? You don't have 20 off attack, 20 off defense. But that's probably better than just getting slightly better upgrades and having it for the late game, and not to mention it's going to allow you to defend, especially if you can throw turrets, when you get, I don't know, 6v2. So that might actually be better than what my gut instinct was. Be interested to see how that plays out over the course of the next 10 minutes here.
Yeah, I think Cash is going to be the one in trouble more here. Bunker upgrades 5, 4, and 4, but he's going against a couple juggernauts there.
Everybody has agreed that top left is the threat. I think this is very difficult to do, especially when you're constantly under pressure. I think Starduck, if he can, needs to throw turrets basically where he's throwing them, and then also he needs to help Cass throws down another SCV? Oh my goodness. So top left has 4 SCVs. The rest of the entire map has a total of 6.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see how that rolls for.
I don't think that was a good move for Cash there.
He's behind on upgrades as well by a fair bit.
Yeah.
Different play for Starduck.
I think you called it right. He should have relied on his turrets from Starduck. I mean, Starduck's much higher upgrades too, so his turrets are going to definitely be a bit more use.
Starduck with turrets and SCVs, I don't think he can lose a bunk. When a tank shows up, that becomes an issue. Nobody just got a map here. Nobody with a tank or even building one. So Starduck can hold for a while, and then he could throw turrets in Fox's area to be able to help there. But yeah, Cass ends up losing a bunk. He does have an extra CV. Maybe that helps late game for right now, though. Just a quick sign up. I really want to commend Junis on how he's played this game. From an inch of death structure. If he can catch up on upgrades, he has the best. Look at the map currently. He has the best in the city. It's just a matter of that team catching up. Also, I would argue just.
I wonder what bottom left will feel too if bottom right does kind of run away with this game, because Oblivion, when he gets into this Reaper mode like that, it is scary. I think Starduck did good by calling that out there. Fox calling a swap, and he's going right in for Oblivion supply there. One upgraded supply goes down. Oblivion not even really engaging on. I think he was politicking, and he loses both upgrade supplies while doing that.
It was the correct time to switch, so I appreciate players having just map awareness there and being able to switch. I actually like the way Junis played this in an attempting to snipe one of Fox's bunkers. A lot of times, coming back and defending might be correct. A lot of times, running up and trying to get the other team to pull back can be correct. That's what he tried to do there. It's just Cass was able to cut him off and kind of spoil his planes there. I appreciate the thought.
I agree. Sometimes best defense is good offense there. All right, since everyone's calling that out, score check. We got Starduck now first place, 35,000 points. Fox in second place, 20,000. Cash IR back up to 20,000, but taking some losses from that earlier 6v2. Oblivion in fourth at 17,000 points.
Right is in.
And as I was calling that out, totally missed that bunker. Oblivion sniping out one of RCJH's bunker. For RCJH.
Bottom left, I think, to survive. Yeah, so his nuke is gone. So he nuked to survive there.
That's
actually used nukes to like get punks and whatnot. Yeah.
Just about 40 minutes.
Standard.
Cash IR on the verge of losing another bunker there. He is able to save it. Meanwhile, his rods are still up and going. It's almost down. It's so close to being put down.
I'm top left, man. If I'm top left, I think I start considering building. Starduck has 3 SCVs now. I think I start building tanks. If you can push. You can push bottom left in particular out of this game. I think it allows you to expand, not to mention your upgrades are just stellar above everybody else. Also, top right dying makes the game a little bit more interesting, and it puts bottom left just by location in a very, very bad spot if bottom right decides to kill top right off.
Something just tells me Oblivion did not appreciate that switch.
Oblivion, he is building a tank.
Well, I think their goal is clear out top right and then work on top left. I think he feels he can't trust top right at this point. So what are you going to do? Eliminate him and try to orchestrate the 4v2 on top left.
I think the way it stands currently, Oblivion's only real problem is not supply, and as far as total supply, as RCH unfortunately gets defeated there early. Well, first. It's his ability or inability currently to resupply. He only has... Oh no, I'm sorry, he took the tank spot. He actually has 4 bunkers, so he's actually in a really good spot. He's, as usual, canceled out the Marines from his original bunker. has a ton of supply in multiple different spots, and then has 4 bunks. That's actually the right number to resupply. 3 is a little low when you have 100 supply. 4, not too bad actually.
I think Fred is a little sad that Oblivion's killing top right here. Fred is thinking they need everything they can just to take out top left. But I think Oblivion's just counting on his mass at this point, that he would be able to first, and I think it's right, I think he would be able to take out Cash and then go in for Starduck just with that mass.
This is a spot where I really like defensive tanks that later in the game turn to offensive tanks if you're top low. If you can kind of get a game feel, or if you can scout for how much supply they have, 1 or 2 tanks with splash really, really, really help on defense here. SCVs, you know, when you have a bunch of Reapers that are upgraded coming to snipe your bunk, SCVs help, but I go away for a minute and they don't help.
Interesting with Oblivion's Reapers, look at his upgrades. Usually when you're going full snipe mode, it's a little bit less balanced, but he's got his armor and attack right up there, and actually not as much speed. So this is a little bit augmented Oblivion play that we see here.
Have the, and correctly so, have the upgraded speed that you get click 4, so he has a little bit of bonus there. Ooh, top right might not be long for the game unless Cass comes over. There goes a bunk 2. There's bunk, good. That Cass came over and did save that from being a total devastation loss. But man, Oblivion, chuck up another 650. Plus he's got 2,400 in the bank. I'll be myself here in late equities on people's positions. I want to say bottom right has a plurality of equity with 2 tanks in Oblivion's army. Not to mention, again, I want to commend Judas for
he's definitely caught up now.
Bumping and still playing. Yeah, just a great game from him. I'll say they have a plurality equity, probably like 40% equity currently. Top right, bottom left,
not looking
4% just for even numbers. Not the best. I guess I have to increase bottom right's equity, otherwise my equity's not making sense. So we'll say 50% bottom right, 45% top left, and then 5% for the other 2.
Starduck calling, he has 130 supply. He's got about 105 supply. Starduck just doing his best to kind of politic at least what would be 5v2, I guess, against bottom right here. But I don't think Fred and Ambi are going to play ball, mainly Fred.
Yeah, I completely agree. Starduck actually just saved one of Fox's bunkers there by cutting off Oblivion. It ended up, in my opinion, being the right play. You probably need Fox to harass as this game goes forward. It is interesting that bottom left continues to either chill or harass top left. It might be worth a scout if they swung over to the right. Having 3 tanks with splash, plus a couple SCVs, plus a ton of supply. There's no question bottom right's in the best spot here right now. Goes bottom left, marching up to top left. God, Eunice just gets washed because of the upgrades. The bunker could foreseeably fall, but no, Cass is going to be there to...
Not even halfway. This is not a good spot for bottom left, and it looks like Fox is going to fall here too now. They got both Tunis and Oblivion on him completely. 1 bunker down, and they're retreating. They don't... Now, in response to Starduck, I was wondering if they were calculating.
Starduck needs supply at this point. He has 3 SCVs. Defend. Say he had, I don't know, an extra 6 dimes in the bank right now. How much supply is, not that he could like actually build it, but say he had 6 dimes in the bank. With 350 and a 6 is, I don't know, like 18? So he could have additional 18 bunkers and have as much supply as like bottom right does. But that's going to be his problem. Once his army gets washed, it's going to take forever to resupply. Not to mention he has 60 supply versus Oblivion's 110.
Yep, and Fox does go down. GG to top right, RCJH and Fox being the first eliminated out of here. Hope to see you guys in the next match.
Good showing. Tough spot, but good showing.
Who would have imagined bottom right would have been in this situation with Junis? Like, you could have literally just, like, tapped that bunker and it would have died.
I agree. That thing, had you gone vacuuming just to clean up the rubble by it, you would have fallen over, but it just ended up staying alive, man. And that's all that mattered.
And it looks like we finally do get the switch here from bottom left. They're taking out some of Oblivion's supply there. Cuts them down to 100 from 110. Oblivion coming down, trying to save this other upgraded supply. One more does go down, forced back up as Cashier put some pressure near their Marauder bunker there.
Oblivion has no armor on his bunks, or, which by extension leaves no armor on the tanks. He has 1,500 in the bank. I'd like to see that to go to like 6 or 7 at least. He could certainly afford it and have a little bit left over. Did he just smash it? Oh, okay, no, he spent all his money on something else. So he, again, still has no armor. He needs to repair it too. They should both send their SCVs to repair that tank. Ah, there they go. Good job, Junus.
Yeah, I think they need to communicate too, like who's going to cover on what side. I don't know about Junus covering on this top side. Actually, no, never mind. He's 19 and 19. He should be able to hold, and he's got bunkers on this side too. So.
Fox paused it?
All right.
He is dead. This is interesting.
Might have been
Click
a
the
wrong
pause button by
press.
mistake. Yeah, probably misclick. I do also want to appreciate tanks are in really good positions. Having them spread out, I would appreciate probably the two that are close to each other. That one needs to get repaired still, but having those two close to each other, when you spread them out a little bit, it makes it more difficult to be able to kill them very easily. Also, it gives you a wider range for splash. So having one to defend and then having two to defend for Junus, the bottom left part of their infrastructure is really, really not too bad. Also, he's building a fourth.
Oblivion's holding back here. I wonder if he's trying to take the temperature, how well Junus is able to hold them. I think if they're able to demonstrate that Junus can hold top left, then I don't know, he's coming up here. But I would think if they can demonstrate Junus can hold top left, then Oblivion can easily take out bottom left. I think that would be the play. But they switch back on top left here. They're going by score. They're absolutely going by score right now. But I think bottom right's kind of the bigger threat at the moment. Starduck with his 2 tanks, and I guess how many SCVs do they got now? He's got 3 SCVs and Cash 2 SCVs.
Call Otacon in the chat. If you actually click the view from top right, we should be able to see the map and the score habitually.
Yeah, good call out there. Sorry, that was me. It is up there for us to view fully now.
But this is I'll ask myself a question that anybody listening, of course. If you're bottom left to win this game, I want to say their options are clearly limited.
Yes.
Kind of have to hope everybody whittles themselves down. You get enough feet to have 18 upgrades, and then have a bunch of tanks, and maybe have people make misplays. I think you're in a precarious spot, of course, but man, I'm trying to think of a way where they just storm right back, and it's kind of not coming to me.
And in a pub game, you try to draw it out as long as you can. However, in these pro games, they got roughly 37 minutes to be able to come up to equality here on everything. Let's see, Ampy's still sitting 11, 15, 10, 8, and 6 in upgrades. Fred a little bit more on attack, mainly because of his defending, but he needs to fill in on his defense still.
Starduck slowly but surely actually has infrastructure, so he ends up getting a 4th base over where Cass's base was. He has 2 tanks with I can't tell because they just moved. I'm assuming they're gonna have splash. Also, he finally has 2 upgraded, or they do not have splash. That would be my next thought to invest in. Also, the positioning of them need to be scooted forwards, as they don't. If you show up from another team, that'll actually come down and hit your own bunkers. It doesn't need to be scooted forward just for defensive play. But he also has 2 upgraded. I've totally lost supply depot, thank you. So he actually has enough supply now to be able to compete.
2 tanks from Startup coming up towards the center here, help reinforce this Marauder bunker.
It's much better.
They do have the tank upgrade splash.
Just got it, yep. Oblivion with 2 tanks in a position that I completely agree with. Now Startup with 2 tanks in a position I completely agree with. It's going to make it real tough to march forward with those things having splash.
It's actually really good for top left here. They are just, they're getting fed pretty solid here.
There's no doubt they're in much better position than they were maybe just 8-10 minutes ago game time. If you're bottom left, maybe you consider building. I don't know, man. It's kind of tough if you're. It's so tough because you want to get your upgrades But then you literally need either tanks or SCVs at this point to be able to compete. And it's almost kind of relegated to be a plain spoiler here.
You need to get out of middle, start attacking more on the sides, but I think bottom left wants to play in middle so they can catch more feeds. It's just a bad
Hilarious. Like, that's incredible politicking when he's in such a good spot.
You can see the you can see the turret push that Starduck is doing. It's like a concave of turrets there. It's hilarious.
He has 5,400 in the bank as well. He actually called another SCV, and just as he's doing that, I'm thinking, how many SCVs? I assume Junis only has one SCV. If he had more than one, which unfortunately doesn't, he could start throwing turrets back in for cast to kind of interrupt stuff. But man,
Cashiar definitely politicking here. I think everyone, even on the stream chat, is calling that they are in a favorable position. And meanwhile, Cash wants to lay it on, hey guys, Brown has 7 tanks. Brown has 4 tanks.
5? This is the advantage that bottom right has created for themselves in taking out top right. They can just build up the entire right side of the map as they've done. The other two, the time when they expand, they have to expand towards another team, at least for top left. Puts them in an easier spot to be able to move around. Cass throwing some turrets on the back line. I appreciate that play.
Starduck playing this really smart. Nuke goes down, and they rush in for the tanks. Yep. That was Starduck. One tank down, 2 tanks down.
Fred, when you watch this back, I'm sure you'll have a tear, because that feels like a play that you would have invented for yourself. So good shit stuff. And he has another SCV. He's up to at least 5.
Now, I like the play that Starduck is doing here. He's keeping bottom left just completely defended against turrets. This is bad. If they're not able to make any progress, especially after losing those 2 tanks, top left is going to win this.
Oblivion needs to move a tank or 2 back from a defensive position where his 1 bunker is over to a little bit more of an offensive position where he could actually score some points. Starduck and Cass are clearly going to be the who's at this point in the game. And yeah, you were right. Starduck can literally just defend with turrets. Like, he has no other. Also, he should empty those bunkers just to pull more supply into the middle. Given he can defend with turrets here.
SCV count for Starduck now is going to be 6 SCVs.
Left has more SCVs than everybody else in the game combined, multiplied by 2.
Cash with 4 as well, yeah.
Earlier, they survived the mid game by spending so much on SCVs. Being able to, and Starduck just throws down 5 turrets in the middle in a fight that he was not in the best position in, and he has to back up. What are you going to fight turrets that basically don't die with your upgrades versus theirs? Man, it puts everybody else in a really tough spot.
Trigger doing some in-game analysis. He's saying when Starduck dropped that nuke, he should have pushed in with the tank simultaneously with the snipe. That would have definitely given him favorable position to take out these Rotter bunkers here. Oblivion has his tank back up there, so really it just elongated the game. But in this kind of situation, the longer it goes on, the worse it is for top left.
Bottom left is going to need bottom right's help to survive, especially with all these turrets. Especially as they throw them behind the kind of fog of war here, where you have to run into them in an attempt to kill them. So you lose a fair bit of your army, then you run into another 30 that are just sitting there waiting to damage you.
But again, look at their scores. Like, my gosh, they got 28 minutes now. Even if they do whittle down top left, they can't kill him. Otherwise, bottom right's just going to roll all over him too. I really don't see in the time frame anything here for bottom left.
This is interesting. Everybody's upgrades are going to normalize. Well, by everybody, I mean the 2 teams that have a chance to win, top left, bottom right, are going to normalize basically around 20. And then it'll come down to supply, tanks, and infrastructure, basically SUV. I want to say, oh, and who's building? Somebody's taking middle. Right, given the position of it. If that gets down, I would be stunned. Just because of the amount of turrets that Starduck can throw around that. A SCV must be building to be shift click to the middle.
Yeah, I don't even see it.
An SCV has to be building something for somebody in bottom right and then shift click the middle. This is a small side note. Oblivion has a bunker with 3 units in it. Should be.
Oh no! Does that bunker
Game.
get saved? That bunker, it got. Oh, it does go down.
No, it does get pulled. I was down to 15 health. Insta regen to 100 and then got bombed out by the Reapers there. Junis taking mid.
I like the response there. They got mid.
Good.
What response would you expect in that situation? Good.
Go Starduck continue to throw turrets, and he has another nuke behind. Interested to see if he uses it in the same fashion that he used it last time. Lose a tank, probably good. 14 armors.
I mean, bottom
Not gonna
left
be easy enough
still
to go
does
down.
not have tanks. They
Starduck going to lose the bump.
They can turret rush this. I mean, they can turret kill bottom left. They need to at this point.
As I said, I would be surprised if the mid bump goes down. It went down uncontested. Standard. Like, no big deal.
And Chari from the stream chat saying he wants to see more shield towers from top left here. I want to see him do stuff with the SCV. How many did he just call down there? He's got 9 total SCVs. Make your push. Make your play. Bottom left does not have the tank count. Or they have no tank count. Hold. Kill bottom left. Expand out. Take the game.
S is always, at least in Discord when you hear him talk about the game, he always is conscious of being able to play with SCVs. So if they're communicating, if Starduck isn't able to think about, I don't know if he is or not, but if Starduck isn't able to think about it, I'm certain Cass is like, hey, SCV's over here, SCV's over there. He should be kind of the general of that team. Oh wait, look at these tanks are actually sniping a tank of Starduck right at his Reaper bunker, which also I think, like, pick it off. It might just barely be in range.
Yeah, one tank going down.
They have the entire right side of the map, like all of it.
And Starduck goes and calls that out right now. Wow, just like we were saying earlier, the longer this goes on, the worse it is for bottom left. They had the opportunity. I think Trigger presented an opportunity there. I still think they have other opportunities. Just with get one tank up there with some supply, with some depots. Is it really going to be the difference of you dying here at the top left? I don't think so.
Bunker goes down for Starduck, which puts those tanks kind of in a wide open spot. This is Starduck actually 100% telling the truth. Bottom left actually should switch. Thing is, it's difficult to, given how many turrets are just kind of been thrown in their face the entire game. Also, if you look at the score, it's like, how can you be losing? Starduck has 10k in the bank. This might be a good spot for him to actually hold on to it. It depends on if bottom left will switch. If bottom left switches, they get whittled down. He has 10k with like 30 SCVs. He can immediately rebuild up. Trigger showed us how to do this. So that might be his play here. Just a matter of whether bottom left will go ahead and switch or not.
Oblivion trying to advance his tanks, he ran in, sniped the tank with his Reapers. Even with the tank low on health, it took a while. Starduck responds with the nuke. Probably could have did that a little bit sooner, give himself some position, but it does keep Oblivion's tanks back for now.
It's 12k in the bank, basically. Starduck does. And he's building a nuke. It's active. What, is Cass building a nuke too? Oh, okay, no, it just constantly looks like that. Okay, I was tripping out. I was like, oh, they're both building. That's crazy. But yeah, Starduck, I assume, would be building a nuke.
Whoa, what is Junis doing?
I think they're such a big favorite.
Yeah, I don't know who aggroed who there, but it looks like Junis is now locked in with bottom left. That's going to definitely take a little bit of momentum out from Oblivion, and maybe it's going to give Starduck and Kashire an opening where they can do something here. They're rushing into the tank. One tank in orange. They're not able to get enough damage. They're trying to get it to splash kill it. It does go down with the splash.
But they lose a tank as well on the back end. Those tanks are literally right out in the middle. I know he has a ton of army, but man.
Trigger also
I'd like to either see them push forward.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying Trigger also calling out. It's bottom left. That's the That's the key to success here for top left. They got to kill bottom left, and that's why I'm a little confused why Junis is over here.
Yeah, they have such an absurd advantage. Half of the map in their possession, still with. I mean, he's had mid now for offensive GG. That can't possibly be. This is hilarious. A random person watching? No. If you play this game, what Junis is doing right now is hilarious. Like, this is so, like, spot. But he ends up, funny enough, as I was talking about mid, he ends up losing that mid bump.
Yeah, losing on top. I would say let mid go here. It's going to be interesting. We're 4 minutes away from a 15-minute warning. I don't know if that's going to change anyone's direction here. Because this game is in danger of becoming a draw at this point.
Yes. Bottom left could.
And I think everyone
draw.
has to realize that bottom left wants the draw at this point. There's just no way they can win on it.
It's building a tank 1 square away from one of Starduck's bunks. It'll just, as soon as it finishes, it will, unless Fred is right on top of it, it'll automatically start banging that bunker, which will probably draw Starduck back, so you might have to be careful as soon as that finishes.
Oblivion's tank does survive, sitting there with 20 armor on the tank. I'm surprised no one's politicking this, like saying, hey, let's kill bottom left, let's at least make it random. Because top left and top and bottom half of the map
cause at least one tank to go down, and it causes Junis to run back whenever he had bottom left in a really bad spot. They're only going to get one bunk off, or sorry, one tank off that nuke. Startuck having the big? Okay. We'll lose some supply from it. From left should be able to snipe one of Oblivion's tanks here.
Why are you complaining with your 200 supply? Well, Junis has 140, Oblivion has 110. Yeah, I guess that's quite a bit. 350 combined total supply there. But yeah, again, I'm just surprised. No one's calling the gentleman truce. Hey, let's kill bottom left right now. We got 15 minutes. Broad bunker does go down from Cash IR there to Oblivion. And this is not good. All right.
Oh, I was gonna say, oh look, trigger's in the. Oh no, it's starter. Oh, and he doesn't cancel that bunker. It gets killed as he was building it. Ooh, right in the middle of the lag. A little unlucky.
Who was that? I didn't see that. I saw Cash's bunker go down. Who lost the building one?
The Starduck was building a bunker right as he lagged, and wasn't physically able or got a little bit unlucky as he was lagging there to have it canceled. Also, oh my god, Junis has a bunker waiting to be built with one SCD, is building another bunker where top right was. That's hilarious, man. He's literally built. He has like stuff in like 10 or 13 squares. It's crazy. Look, back in there.
Oblivion, Ambi, you need to help us. No, they're doing exactly what they need to do. They need to survive for 15 more minutes. I don't know why people aren't realizing this.
It almost has a tank down. Slowly but surely. They might be able. Oh no, they get picked off by Oblivion, who comes over and saves that bunk. Ambi, I think, does the right thing. He's going to scoot on in on this tank, but that bunker is beyond full, and that will not get that done. Starduck, how many turrets? Is that like 10 turrets he just chucked, along with Cass, who just chucked like 6 or 7 of his own?
Yeah, they're focusing on the wrong person here.
If Fred had splash on these tanks, of which he now is building his third, it really puts them in a position to not die. But given it allows them potentially to have a draw, well, you go from like a spot of no equity to a spot of at least some equity. Back, and he's going to lose a bunk here. I'm going to quote Cass from last week. He said the turret play was real. These turrets are walking. They are walking this team back.
And what you're going to see is bottom left, as soon as they realize what's going on, they're going to cut right into Starduck.
Cass is walking turrets all the way down. If you see where he has them queued where Junis is building a bunker. And I kind of referenced this earlier. Cass is both conscious of this play and then is physically able to make it. And it's such a good play. enough, this turret by Junus's tank, if he was capable, he could actually you can actually control where the turret shoots, and he could right-click onto the SCV and it would stop that thing from building, but not able to do so.
Yeah, Oblivion's able to clear pretty quickly with this Reapers. The only thing that always sucks when you do that, you turret into their base, your SCVs get stuck there. Starduck sitting on 10 SCVs, Cash looking like with 4 SCVs, and Oblivion on 4 SCVs, Green on 3-ish SCVs.
This is time for the remix, where bottom left now needs to stop the switch and remix it back up to top left. If they're going to get that, this is the first legitimate GG by Junus this game. They're actually in a horrible spot. Entire army to top right and kill all these turrets. Like top right, just the physical location has like a good 20 turrets just chilling.
I don't know why Cash is saying we got 10 minutes to kill someone. That is cue for bottom left to switch right there, because bottom left knows they are dead. They are so dead if that happens. So I think Cash was trying to politic it, but he just gave him a reminder. Hey, you should switch now.
Top left,
and they
if
did.
They're allowed to expand, are in a great spot. I love this. I know this has nothing to do with anything. I love this game, man. This game swings so hard. It doesn't swing as hard as like certain things in Gamely that I've experienced, but this game swings pretty damn hard. Remember, think of Junus's roller coaster ride this whole game. Like, no question, he was effectively dead. Fought back with everything he had. Was in the best spot. Now they're in a marginal situation at best, getting pushed back by a ton of SCV turrets.
Funny how it works now with Cash with this kind of thing. I wonder if Starduck will change his turret play to bottom left. I mean, they got to kill someone. Bottom left is the one, to be honest. Yep.
Well, half of them time out right at the wrong spot. Have Splash? No, he still doesn't have Splash. It's probably just a... Oh, he's got 19k in the back, or 19k. He's got basically 2k. I assume that's where the mine's going right now. Good Fred.
Final 10 minutes of the game. They got to either eliminate somebody or take the draw here. I think we're going to see a lot stronger pushes going from bottom left, on top left to bottom left right here.
Well, I'm bad at this part of the game. In these games, what do you say if you're top left or bottom right? Like, what do you physically type in your keyboard right now in an attempt to win bottom left, like, teamwork? Or do you try and convince, if you're one of the two corners, do you try and convince everybody to go towards bottom left in an attempt to be able to play the long game?
I think that's the latter is the option there. You say, hey guys, the game's going to end over in 9 minutes. Let's kill bottom left. Everyone should say yes to that, because they're fairly... I don't know. The SCV count is pretty real. But it's better than taking a draw, in my opinion. The only one that should want to draw right now is bottom left.
Bottom left. I'm complete agreement with you on that. I think this is the spot where top left, if they have a bank, as Starduck does, if I'm Starduck and we're talking, if Cass and Starduck are talking, I want to say Starduck should dump some money to Cass just to be able to allow him to survive what now is a bunch of turrets coming in his face. I also think it's a spot where, again, late game, you're going to get whittled down, you build up the bank so you can immediately kind of build your supply back up. But man, approaching 7.5 minutes left, the politicking should come in.
I'm just more surprised no one realizes this dynamic. They keep asking for bottom left's help. Bottom left is what's messing up each one of the sides right now. And by design, they're playing it right.
And this is a very tough puzzle to solve. And I just love about this game, there are so many different ways, even at this stage, this game could go. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. No way around it.
Junus losing another tank, it looks like here, maybe? It does go down.
Bottom right has kind of rebuilt infrastructure. Thing is, the game has gone on long enough to where bottom left now has upgrades that allow them to not get immediately run over. Also, Fred, with all of his tanks, could theoretically push to one side or the other and probably do some damage. The only problem is you probably run into a bunch of turrets. that entire team come back on you. As Junis attempts to retake middle again. Not unreasonable, actually. I think having the unit benefit from this point of the game is probably plus EV. Rex turrets. Oh my goodness. I love it.
Still, it looks like this game can go on for 2 more hours at this rate, but really, what they got is 5 minutes to make a decision and see.
This is blowing. I'm so sorry I missed this. Starduck has 11 health regen? The bank? I'll assume that's a misclick. That he has a bunch of units that stem. The difference between 11 health regen and 20 is stark. That is, without question, probably an APM issue, just where he's been under pressure for a long time. Same with Cass? No. Is there? Can somebody explain to me why they only have 10 and 11 health regen respectively? That kind of blows my mind for especially Cass, who's a very good player.
Especially at this stage of the game.
For the game, yeah.
Cash doesn't have money, but Starduck's sitting on about 6,000 minerals right now.
Yeah. Boy. That's what I actually agree with no, unfortunately. This game would be fun to watch to the end. Thing is, it might not end until like 2020.
Yep. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the stream chat, but they could have ended this much sooner if they were just know what the bottleneck was.
There were definitely a bunch of different inflection points. The easiest one, obviously, to call out the fact that Fred was unwilling to nuke early game. It's later in the game where Starduck had a couple of nukes and wasn't really able to. I mean, he was able to do damage, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't able to move forward as much as you would have wanted to. Let's say this would be a terrible but really funny debate if top left says, "Fuck it, guys, I'll go ahead and quit if we kill bottom right." And then don't quit. I know that sounds terrible, but that feels like one of the things you could say to be able to attempt to move forward. Just like, no, Ambi, I promise, and then not quit out whenever the not like realize. That'd be so funny, but that's about the only way I don't see a draw at this point.
It looks like Cashier is doing a last-minute politic here. Are they going to switch on bottom left? Come on, we got 2 minutes. You can do it.
Myth.
Does Brown not want to do it? This is what they should have done 30 minutes ago. Let's see it. Let's see it done in 90 seconds.
I think if Starduck backs off right now and gives a little bit of space, they might actually do it. Man, I know. I think if Starduck just has to back off because it seems like they're in there like oh, you want to back off, but then they're kind of still being the aggressor.
Fred trying to add confusion to the mix.
I'm not saying they can do it in a minute, but if they stop right now and ran,
kill top left, go.
Oh, can they? I don't think they can. I think bottom left's the only team that could dive in 30 seconds here effectively.
Yeah.
At this point, there's
no way. And this is Fred knowing.
I'm just tank too.
They're not going to commit to this. Bottom left is not going to commit to this.
How like the X Factor has like a golden button where you can just save somebody. I wish I had a golden button right now to extend this 5 more minutes unbeknownst to the players, because it feels like another 2 minutes goes by and top left is dead. Funny enough, that means bottom right wins, but unfortunately, this one ends in a draw.
All right, guys, and that looks like it will be it for our first game here of the night. Stay tuned with us. We're going to be back real quick here, coming on for game 2 of the night. See you soon.
yeah, Drac can take lead.
Game started.
All right,
yeah,
guys,
whoever is.
we are in. Welcome back to Game 2 of the night. Top left, we have Fox and Ambidextrous. Top right, we have Junis and Thoradin. Bottom right, we have Starduck and Trigger. And then bottom left, we have Zateo and Oblivion. My name's Draconis, and joined with me today is a slew of gentlemen. We got Go Get It, Kashayar, and Fred in the lobby with us for Game 2 of the night. Welcome, guys.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Boys. I'll jump in and say Trigger's gonna win. Thank you.
Yeah, Trigger, I thought he won 4 games in a row the last game he played, but he says he won 5. I would not put that past him, so he might be on track to be winning potentially 6 games here, which would just be ridiculous.
And he's got a good partner with him as well.
Oh yeah.
I played with Starduck last game, and yeah, it's definitely he's top of the leaderboard for a long time there. But I might actually come in and say that besides they both just got nuked there, that Team 1 is actually very strong together in terms of their gameplay. They've been playing with each other for a while. Ambi's just come back from a break, so it's maybe a bit rusty, but in terms of gameplay, I think these two are something to look at.
That was Fox and Ambi, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Junis just got an epic nuke right there, nice and early, and he is somebody who I would bring a lot of parallels to Trigger, and really gets out of control quick, so he's off to a good start. Starduck also off to a good start as well here.
Also, completely appreciate nuking Trigger early. Like, I really think it's one of the strategies you basically have to take first inning, because it's clear he'll just snowball if he gets any like foothold early on in the game.
Yeah, Oblivion did nuke him nice and early.
So, we were kind of having this discussion early on, or not early on, late on in that game, Fred, where we were saying the best thing for them to do, for either team to win, was to kill you and Ambi there. And I just don't know why the two teams were just so focused on each other right there.
I was really, really focused on making sure that they didn't give either of them a reason to kill us. And I was talking to Am about the whole time, like, we are going to try and get a draw here, because it would be amazing if we actually did in that situation, because we needed to die for either of them to win. And somehow they managed to wait too long to even consider killing us.
Yeah,
so
I think I dropped
consider that a win.
2 minutes remaining, like, let's just kill them off, you know?
I knew you were going to say that too. I had a feeling as soon as you said that it's going to be a draw, and like he's basically suggesting kill bottom left. It makes sense.
Given your relative position throughout the game, getting a draw there should be, I don't want to say seen as a victory, but like, took a lot of effort to get to a draw. You did a very good job.
I obviously wasn't watching the stream last game, but you guys saw how close that kill on Junis's bunker was.
We totally missed it. No, I'm just kidding.
You missed it.
No. We caught it. We might have been crying in our seats for you there.
Yeah, I was in a great spot, especially laning Starduck. I was double his score at one point really quickly, and after that failed base snipe happened, and that, all I had to do was nuke or put a turret. After that, Starduck just did a great job of coming back and being dominant all game, so props to him for that.
We got a comment in from, I think Teal Ashtray is Kurdo, saying that he's gunning there for Starduck and Trigger, thinking the team's a bit OP.
I think so too. I think, Starduck's on fire right now, and now he's got Trigger in. That's hopefully the other teams realize the potential threat. Because
go ahead, Fred.
I was just going to say, Starduck's in the lead right now, and he hasn't even used his nuke, so that's pretty big.
Yeah. Also, just this complete small side note. I want to say Junis's APM last game, this is, again, a small thing, but his APM was like 565? 5? Like,
that's insane.
I have arthritis just thinking about it. That's so ridiculous. That is such high APM for like an hour and a half long game. Crazy.
Yeah, he's quick.
All right, here. Oh, they're going to come back and get it.
You can see top right, Ambi going up to the base, trying in the same deja vu, looking for the base snipe on Junis again.
If you saw his split, then he left about 4 or 5 units in that top right corner there just to snipe that SCB. Very good with his micros. I don't think there's many out there that can actually beat him on a micro.
Yeah, if you see a Smurf out there and splitting units like that, putting some units at the base, it's probably Ambi. few people do that.
Getting a little bit of
Someone's
lag
lagging.
here. Hopefully it's
Little
not one
trigger
of us.
lag. I'm assuming it's trigger. It feels to me like I'm almost used to feeling it.
Oh, Thoradin lag.
Thoradin Trigger's neighbor? Trigger's like, oh, it's not me for once.
Yeah,
somehow in
Trigger
lag.
must get super excited when he sees someone else lag, you know?
Right.
You're currently in last. I'll say that'll last for like 2 more minutes, and then he'll be in first.
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts in that, was mentioned before about the swag blanket hack of give me 3,000.
Yep. And Fox just nuked Zateo there. Not a big nuke though.
Oblivion actually doing a great job on holding him, but if you can see the matchup there, I don't know if this is Trigger sort of, you know, scare him off a little bit, but he's sitting there on upgrades 54337, like completely out upgrading Trigger. Trigger had to go
Trigger.
34435 to semi counter it.
Yeah.
And he's not that far off really from you know, being able to get a bunker. So he's focusing on upgrades now. Trigger on 45435 now.
He just dumped it into his upgrades.
Yeah, the
Pretty
amount
good.
of upgrades Oblivion has, that's more than I'll even get on my 1 bunk War Pigs play. I mean, that's a lot of upgrades, and it will definitely delay his first bunker quite a bit.
I think it's a good strategy though to do that, because it forces
Sure.
Trigger to push him to upgrade, which slows him down and allows Zateo to really, you know, focus on that second bunker expansion, which is 150 minerals away from getting there.
That's true. But
and be denying Junus's bunker while building his own. Really, really great spot for top left.
oh yeah. Oh yes.
And be jumping in first place in that as well. They're actually in a really good position, you know. This composition here, they both got their Reaper punks out. Zateo's almost there, but he has to go 3, 5, 1, 2, 4 on his upgrades. He's not going to be able to bunk soon, and Oblivion definitely not anytime soon with those kinds of upgrades.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what you guys think as well, but if both Trigger and Oblivion both focus on their upgrades, you know, they're both cancelling each other out from a speed from the
Kind of.
resupply.
Kind of, but Trigger, he's known for really going hard on the upgrades, usually after his first bunks up. But I think right now he's looking at Starduck thinking, okay, as long as I just hang in here with Oblivion, Trigger's really good at making up deficits and doing sneaky tactics to come back. And top right, I'm surprised Junus got that bunk up. He was getting pressured by the 2 high score players there for a while, so good for Junus.
Zateo being forced to take a Marine bunker here. I don't know if that was intentional or not, or if he was just feeling too much pressure from Trigger there. I think bottom left got a little bit lucky there that Fox wasn't putting on more pressure, because Zateo had enough to build a bunker for a while, but he was just getting delayed. He didn't feel safe enough with Trigger right there, and that was going to be a problem. With Fox now on 2 bunkers to his 1, he still has a nuke. He should be able to hold this one off.
Interesting spot to place that's the tower there. A little bit more forward. More vision, of course, but more probability to get sniped later in the game.
So we still have 4 nukes left, 12 minutes in, which is pretty high, I think. Zateo, Trigger, Starduck, and Thoradin. So 4 nukes left. A lot of big shifting can still happen in the score.
Yeah, Thoradin also going heavy on the upgrades at 58427. Got 500 in the bank. Not going to be able to resupply anytime soon. He's down to 13 units. And up against Starduck as well, who's got pretty much matched upgrades but a second bunker as well.
Yep.
I think it's going to be difficult for Thoradin to do much here.
What do you guys think of the shield tower play here? I mean, I'm kind of looking, they're on equal upgrades. I kind of think that's more of a deterrent to have your opponent come and feed on you at that point, right?
Yeah, and I think Oblivion will get the ping from Zateo, or they're in Discord, they'll tell each other, and they'll wipe that shield tower out from Fox rather quickly. Because that messes up Zateo's ability to lane Fox quite a bit, having a shield tower right in your face like that.
And Fox only
Yeah,
built
but,
it because
one-
he saw Zateo building his. That's what I was saying. I don't know if Zateo needed to take one in that square.
Oh no.
And what's he building? He's
Oblivion.
building a sensor tower right there.
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah, Oblivion's getting doubled right now.
And
Walked into Trigger's army.
And Trigger's bringing the nuke.
Oh, Trigger's.
That was a Teos.
Nuke as well. They will build it, but it's going to be on dangerously low health for a while, especially with Trigger having a nuke. He puts his SCV in his bunker. I don't think he's looking at nuking that anytime soon, but
Thoradin
could do something there.
Thoradin pushed at the right time though, saving Oblivion's for sure.
Oblivion's SCV was dead.
This is what I was going to say to your comment, Drac, around that if Oblivion pushes up to take out Fox's shield tower there, it might give Trigger the advantage he needs to push forward. So I don't know if Oblivion will let up on Trigger. As we all know, you don't want to let the guy expand. You want to keep him trapped here, and I think this is what's working for him.
Yeah, no, my question was more about Zeteo's there, because Zeteo built that first, and then Fox built that forward one in response to it.
Mm.
And the question was that tower really needed with equal upgrades and whatnot? Because, I mean, at best, Fox matches it. At worst, he doesn't lane you. And then that's a problem.
Yep. Well, after Zeteo's nuke there, he's quite a bit ahead of Fox now. Thoradin, I noticed he has 1,400 minerals in his tank, and he's building the shield tower at the Rauder Square. I think Thoradin's going for that early Rauder for Stuxnet.
And he does have his nuke as well, which is really going to help him get that off.
And he's doing it.
So far, first place Starduck sitting at about 4,300. Junis second place at 3,800. So some good equal trades going on there from both bottom right and top right. Ambi in third place, 3,500. Starduck does call out the rods.
It doesn't look like anyone cares at this point. I think the composition, if you see Ambi, 2 Marine bunks, Starduck, 2 Marine bunks, I think they're just getting ready for it. Zeteo, 2 Marine bunks, everyone's prepared to take on the Rords with some Mercs Marines, but Ambi still going in to cancel his lane's partner.
It'd be optimal for this not to get down, given the way the map is laid out right now, actually. And he does end up canceling.
And it gets canceled.
And just like last week, participation just jumped up for the second game there. Do you guys think it's the time, or that first game looked kind of fun? Let's jump into the second.
I think people always get amped up after the first game and then want to play.
Yeah, and I guess, knowing that a lot of people in the first game are going to be there for the second, watching the first game might give you an advantage on analyzing some people's playstyles if you're lane with them. So, to be a sneaky in getting an advantage for game 2.
No doubt, that is very true, and I've noticed Trigger almost always sits the first game out and plays the next ones.
Yeah, kind of like a pre-game warm-up. I mean, I feel I play better after watching a game as well.
And Thoradin having some internet connection problems today. Yes, 1A, 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 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. But you know what?
Bottom of the leaderboard too. It's crazy. Wait, what?
He dropped.
What
a shame.
Crazy. This is crazy.
So unlucky.
Is actually in a very good spot right now that his partner's left. He gets an extra bank. He got one bunker extra, or 2.
Attack. You got 1 extra bunk, but I wonder how much was in Thor's bank, because it immediately gets transferred over to Junis, who has 1,800 in the bank, so I assume it's probably like 900 to 1,000.
Yeah.
In 14 attack.
And Junis is good enough to be able to make up the deficit there. He is an optimal person to have this happen to, actually. He's in a great spot now, I think.
However, he's playing a heavy Reaper build there. If you see his upgrades, 4, 14, 7, 2, 7. He's not focused on a Marine build right now. I mean, I guess, Marines against Frauds is good like that, but he's got
1,000 more, so he can transition to what he wants.
Yep, he can transition. He has plenty of space to build.
He's going straight for Reaper build.
I think Junis is going to be a heavy threat. If I were to predict it, I think Junis is going to become a major threat, and then people are going to have to gang up on him, because having that much production can get you way, way farther ahead than the other players.
Well, in terms of production, you got Ambi with 4 bunks right now. He's got Rauders down, and going for a second Reap bunk when that Raud... Wait, he hasn't got it yet, but he'll get it in a second. When he gets that Rauder bunker down, those Reapers are going to be worth virtually nothing unless he gets opportunities to snipe.
That is
and
true.
When you've got two back bunks that are actually producing Marines and you unretired one of them, I would be switching to more of a Marine auto sort of play, balancing out those upgrades, because 16 attack is great, but not really on most points.
I agree with all that. And keep in mind, Junis does have the two highest score players next to him in his lanes, so he has that quite big of a threat right there.
So in that situation, would you guys bench raids and bunker, defend, playing more defensively?
I'd be aggressive. I would just capitalize, and I wouldn't make my base too big, and I would avoid taking Rotters for a while, because the Rotters would kind of indicate that you're a threat. If you can get far ahead without taking those Rotters, and get what can you get six base production on without taking Rotters? You can be in a great spot.
I think Junis needs to invest more in armor here. Despite his large attack, Starduck is just trading with him quite favorably here, and I think I don't know why Sid have 5
Comes
armor.
down to
I don't know how
regen.
much that.
It's the regen as well. Regen absolutely kills. If you had 20 armor and you go into a battle and you wonder why you're dying, it's because you don't have much regen. Regen is getting you for round 2. Don't win the battle, win the war.
You were actually, I don't know if it was intentional cast, but both you and Starduck last game capped out at like 10 regen. I know the game was very high APM, but I was interested in the chat, like, or was it like I'm just throwing turrets?
Oh, Trigger nuke. Trigger and Starduck are pushing Oblivion's bunk, and Trigger just nuked to try and finish it off, and it looks like they might get it.
Yeah, they might get it. They just
Really good
throwing
defense
down,
to
but
hold it.
Yeah. Oh, there's another nuke coming though. They're gonna get it. Oh my god.
On top of that, they get
If it doesn't go down, it's crazy. Okay, good.
But was it worth it? Was 2 nukes worth 1 bunk from Oblivion, who isn't even a threat right now? That is speed that Trigger lost, actually. So I actually totally don't like that play out of Trigger and Starduck.
No, I get what you're saying. They weren't a threat, but it does allow Trigger time to expand. It helps him out with his lane.
It does, but Trigger, I think, you're right. He was probably a little behind.
One thing, I was going to say this about a couple minutes ago. One thing that I didn't like from Jonas' play is that he didn't get a shield tower. When you're soloed, the one thing you need a shield tower, you need to be able to anticipate, people coming to snipe you, because it's very, very real. I mean, he gets a massive feed here, but
Yeah, you got a lot there.
he would have been well prepared if he had that shield tower there.
Yeah. I just think the potential...
Tower. And here it comes, right.
The potential from 2 nukes is huge. That's like 2 tank pushes you could have stopped. You could just snipe any bunk you want pretty much at any time of the game with 2 nukes at a certain point, and they lost that just for that bunk. Bottom Trigger and Starduck. So I'm surprised they went for it, but at the same time, not everyone's a stingy nuke guy like me, so I can't judge.
But here's the thing, right? So you've got Jonas here, he's repairing his back bunk there.
Oh
and
no,
he's-
Zateo, did he not get the cancel? Zateo did not get the cancel.
Oh
Ooh.
no.
Oh my god.
Ouch. Poor Zateo. He's not allowed to be on 3 bunks, right? Isn't that a thing?
Oblivion
Well, he just got
left?
it, because Oblivion leaves, he loses a bunker and leaves.
Okay, I changed my mind.
They should focus down here. Zateo gets his 3rd bunk, but he will lose all 3 of them straight away.
Trigger making
gonna
me
win this
eat
game.
my words with basically
okay.
those 2 nukes killed Oblivion's confidence and dreams and made him leave. And they're probably dead anyways, but still, like, wow. Maybe the cancel nailed the coffin for Zateo. Huge. Really early.
Starduck, very good play by Starduck there, letting Trigger get the kill.
Yeah.
I think that's very important, especially considering his first and Trigger is the moment.
Definitely, and they might actually team Trigger and Starduck anyways, considering who Starduck's partner is. There's a major score delta. It's basically Starduck way in the lead, Junis, and then everyone else is, way lower in the scoreboard compared to them.
How do you feel about top left here? I mean, I think they're making the right move. I'm just curious about your opinion. I think they can take Junis on their own 2v1s a lot easier.
Agree.
Ooh,
mid bunker.
100%.
Is the
100%.
focus going to be on bottom right for the rest of the game? I mean, top left doesn't look like a threat at the moment.
Well, if Junis kills off bottom right with Ambi and Fox, Junis is dead. 100%.
But how about the mid play by Fox here? If that gets called out, and I know Junis sees it, it's in his shield tower, Is he going to call it out? Is he going to care about it? I don't think he really
He
cares.
might not notice, but if he does, then yes, that changes everything, and I'm not sure about that play right there. And I'm surprised Ambi is allowing Fox to do this. Ambi knows, like, the last thing you want to do in a situation where, you want to 4v2 someone else is to take mid and put all the pressure on yourself.
Exactly.
We're scouting over here to the left with a random Reaper. It's the small things. I love shit like that. That's really good stuff.
And they don't notice the mid bunk until it's up. Wow. No one says it.
I need shield towers. Throw a shield tower mid, please.
No shield tower. That'd be the way. And here it goes.
Hey, it's like he's listening.
Thrown down by Fox. I think he just spent some money on some upgrades. He had 400 minerals. I think at his position right now, first thing you want to do is murk that bunker. You don't want it to die so quick. Hopefully that's his next play.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Trigger has noticed there's a ghost or two in Fox's army now. Hasn't said anything. I think it's in bottom right's best interest to get a tank right now.
I don't think Trigger minds
really
so
flat
much.
upgrades.
Trigger out upgrades Fox at the moment, so the extra bounty is not so bad.
Then again, the power potential of ghosts are quite a bit, and ghosts can overpower units even on lowest upgrades often. And the mid vision is pretty big too. Yeah.
Looks like Ambi drops down another shield tower there. I wonder if he's going to go take two.
Junus needs to be careful not to get too much tunnel vision, although with Starduck's score just keep getting higher and higher, it's hard to even decide. Yeah, and Junus is realizing that, crap, I'm just feeding Starduck at this point. I think you were right.
That's an interesting point that you actually raised. Oh fuck, I'm feeding him. At that point, there's so many newer players will just switch and go, I'm not getting any food here. Which completely changes the game and just allows them to snowball. Is that something that you should do? Like just go out and just fight for a little bit, do a quick exchange with top left and go back? Once you get a
If
bit more
you do
food?
that, you have to be incredibly careful, and I actually don't even recommend it until the team that you're 4v2 gets hurt. Don't even stop. Don't stop the trade, because that stopping to trade with each other gives them potential to build out more and trade better.
The mid call finally comes down.
That's like 10 minutes.
Hey, right on time.
That's too funny.
But it was actually good that Jonas called out that he can't trade with them, so I'm sure he's not really worried about mid. He's playing he's got some more Marines in the picture. He's got his third Marine bunker, and he has got some more regen.
I'm just kind of confused what his build is here with the low armor and all that. Like, is he really?
Are you talking about Junus?
Yeah, is he just going for snipe mode? Because I don't know. He's got some supply. I think he would be better served evening out those upgrades.
Right, I was just going to say that. I was going to say to what you said, Cash, earlier, and Drac, the upgrades from Junus, I think, is why he's not trading good with Starduck. If you balance them out, like you said, more range, more armor, that makes a huge difference. It's not all about damage.
And I would like to say that for people who play Reaper builds, I've been trying to play. I played my first league game in the last game, getting a second Reaper bunker, which I don't usually play. And I'm playing it out a bit more, and I'm curious. Is it actually better to just mass the attack? Because if you're going up against a bunker that's got units loaded, you want the armor and regen so units don't die. Is it a better payoff to pay 500 minerals to get the 20 damage? As opposed to getting, 3 into armor or regen.
So the deal, as you know, with Reaper builds is to not trade, but to hit structures and use that speed from the Reapers and the huge damage versus structures. Take advantage of that. And that kind of coincides with going in all, rushing that 20 damage. You don't want to trade if you have damage, just the damage that high. You want to attack buildings.
I totally agree, but in terms of, you want to take out that bunker, sometimes an extra hit would actually kill that bunker, and if
no doubt,
too quickly,
no doubt,
then, one armor is going to save you more. And 3 to armor is going to help you more than 1 to attack.
100% agree.
can get an extra hit because the upgrades don't do that much for your damage as opposed to, keeping units alive for another hit.
Yep, it only kind of goes against that if there's enough units. If you have a huge supply, then okay, you can kind of skimp on the armor and focus more on damage because you'll have enough units there to do the damage. But yeah, I agree with what you said completely.
Like how Ambi calls out way ahead of time that they're getting a tank, just making sure Junis is on the same page there. We're going to start seeing them push here on bottom left. Trigger getting a tank of his own. I guess calling it out like that definitely made him know he needs to get a tank.
It triggers Trigger to get a tank.
Where's that tank going though?
Yeah.
Is that the right area?
It was a very. I think at the same time, pretty smart to make that move because it's like if bottom right calls out tank and Jonas swaps, but Jonas is in this really awkward position right now. He's got a combined score, like his score beats the combined score of top left, which is sitting at about 18,000 right now. He's still 5k ahead of top left.
And look at this, Jonas backs off for a second. Now that tank's gonna go down.
Tank is dead.
Oh no, it's gonna live! It's gonna live!
Oh, you got killed. It's not the whole army. The whole army has to go. Good. That was right, in my opinion.
That was crazy, but that was Junus's fault.
Why would they push there though? Were they just going for the supply to trim the supply?
Yeah, no, it's surprising they didn't go for Trigger's side. You're right.
I would have gone on that side. I would have dumped the tank there, yeah.
And no, Trigger's in a great spot. I knew Trigger was going to get a tank. I knew bottom right needed the tank from that position. And that was great timing on getting it because it came out just in time.
So Junus is actually swapping okay right now. He's definitely got some better resupply there than Stardock.
Yep.
He's getting another marine bunker, and he has focused a bit more on his armor.
Yep.
And regen.
Yep. Junus will become pretty... I mean, he is strong compared to the other players.
But Stardock has dropped a second SCV now. Only one with 2 in the game. You will see his attack shift a lot more into turret play.
Got another tank from Ambi coming out there in the rudder spot. Interesting spot to put it. He saved about 10 seconds or 5 seconds in terms of the trip to bottom left with that tank positioning, but I mean, you have a tank spot, you might as well use it.
Yeah, good point.
You're doing a good job of sending what he can to play defense at home with a tank and then also help Stardock push on Junus.
Yeah, and he's
really
turret
good
pushing
player.
Junus. He has 2 SCVs Stardock, and now he's turret pushing, kind of like last game. He's a lot of people are really liking the turret pushes nice and early nowadays. Seems.
Just loses 20 supply over the last 2 minutes of this game.
It looks like a bunk from Junus is going to go down here.
Ed.
I think there's a problem with top left holding off too long. They're waiting for the tank because they don't want to feed, but at the same time, by not attacking, they allowed, even though Trigger didn't get involved in that attack, they didn't allow Stardock to pull back and help Trigger out.
Yep, and that's why their tank died. And this is what I was saying, where I don't think it's a good idea almost always to stop and trade with each other, because when the one team's this far ahead, you kind of have to put the pressure on. And hurt them at least.
We're probably going to see Stardock pull back here from this battle. He's going to have to cancel that bunker, but he'll probably pull back and help out against that tank. There's nothing Trigger can really do right now.
Trigger's in the best spot.
So if you guys were in Ambi's position, would you take a middle bunker? I mean, Jonas is already aware that they've got 1. I mean, what's the harm in getting 4?
Would who take a middle bunker?
Ambi.
You gotta be careful. 2 mid bunks, and then it only makes it more tempting to get switched on. Although the score for Andy Fox is so low.
Trigger gets the first attack, but if they stutter into this, they really need to push.
Might just trade. It might just trade. Oh, he decides to pull
No,
it.
he lost it.
He lost vision.
He pulled it off. But there
it was a
Stardock
vision.
comes back.
I think it was a vision.
Yeah, Stardock comes in and gets it, but he will lose an upgraded supply depot for that.
Yeah. So they traded.
Not actually.
He keeps it.
SCVs though. And Stardock has 3 dimes in the bank too.
Yeah.
Just now throws that mid bunker there, so you have your answer.
There we
So Definitely
Andy
bottom
must be
right.
listening in on the stream.
Yeah, probably bottom right. Definitely needs another
GG.
tank. And Trigger's saving the money for a tank right now because they do need at least one tank to fend off the other tanks.
I
Only
don't think
transferred
he's
the
got a
100.
position to build it though. I mean, building it in the tank square right now might be very dangerous. I mean, it's just going to cause a cancel and 375 minerals, but... I don't think
Ambi is taking mid and Starduck's there to snipe it.
he's going to cancel. He cancels.
This might be in a really good spot actually if they continue to whittle down bottom right. Unless bottom or top left can get close in upgrades to Junus, he'll just run him over. Like top right, if top right decided to just go attack top left, they're not going to hold for very long.
Look at
It kind
Ambi
of depends on when they figure out the switch.
Ambi going for round 2, but in bottom right square this time.
Yeah, that's pretty
hilarious.
hardcore. And I think what they're going to do is, as they take out Trigger, they're just going to dominate this entire line here.
Yeah, it gives him a good line. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome way to, without having to split, to get really good concaves on top right. It's like prepping for it. I mean, they got so much expansion space right here. It's unbelievable. And there's not a single supply depot for top left.
But you know what, Cash? They don't got the money to make the expansions there.
That's a very good point. Very
They
good point.
broke.
And no second SCV. They're not.
So far, I'd say this 4v2 has gone surprisingly well for bottom right. Starduck has
Agreed.
gotten bigger since it started, and Triggers did his job, and he's surviving. So there you have it. Going well.
Yep, and he just got his tank out of the way. He's built it. Top left don't have a tank anymore. Trigger doesn't have splash damage yet. He's sitting at 800 minerals, possibly saving for it. I don't know if they do a mass push here. It looks like Junus is getting attacked, but if they do a mass push here, they could potentially take that tank out.
They could. They could.
But they are unaware that tank exists.
Yep, and Trigger's making a sensor tower now, and he's going to see all the stuff in mid right now as that sensor goes up. He sees what looks like two more mid bunkers, and he doesn't realize that one of them's a tank. Yeah.
How many SCVs does Starduck have? Is it 2?
It's two at
Two.
the moment. Yeah.
3, maybe 4, and then just here's number 3, jamming turrets on Junus and making his life really, really difficult. You might lose a little bit of money throwing the turrets down, but you protect yourself, and then you kind of allow yourself to attack mid and maybe take out a bunk there.
I wonder if the play from top left is intentional. I mean, they're just sitting back, just letting top right and bottom left battle it out. And Junus is slowly getting pushed back, which is kind of good for them, because if they feel like they can take him, maybe it cripples their ally a little bit more, so when the switch does happen, that they're more effective.
Starduck's
Like
about
it's
to
get
get another
overrun.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yes, off Junus right there. And Junus is in a bad spot, so Ambi and Fox have to make a move soon out the tank spot.
Junus has to call us out, otherwise I think he loses a lot of the time. Yeah, okay. They do.
Yeah, if Junus loses one more bunk, he's not going to be in a great position to help with only 4 bunk production.
But that could be exactly what top left want, but I don't know if they can actually hold out Starduck right now. So
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
Starduck can come back and really snipe this tank. Just for the upgrade disparity.
Frigate going for a second tank there as well.
Yeah, Starduck has a little wall up there to hold back Starduck for a few
He needs to walk back. Ambi's tank has to walk back at least behind the shadow.
Oh, that
man.
makes dead in the
Oh, no! That's gotta hurt.
Gotta back up fast.
Oh,
Ambi.
wait,
That might be optimal?
That
might be
was
optimal.
unnecessary to leave. They
What?
just-
Okay, now you got me.
Wow.
Now you have me as what the fuck is going on.
that is called frustration and giving up because there was
The
no
tank-
reason to
losing
do
the
that.
tank, losing the tank hurt, but
Game is
I
over.
think that if they stuck on it, they could have done some major damage there.
They had them boxed in, and okay, it would have been tough, but Junus was in a great spot. As long as they were able to put pressure, it was just their tank pushes failing miserably there.
Trigger got the tank attack upgrade.
The arc light cannon. That's the way to win games, guys. If you want to win games in style, get the arc light cannon, and
You're winning
you'll
from
be-
last to winning. What I say.
I like that, Drac. You completed the match about
And
Yep.
30
goddamn it,
seconds before it ended.
Trigger's
Just
unstoppable.
trading it now. But okay, guys, that's it for game 2. We got one more game on the way. We will be back shortly. So if you're watching us on the stream, give us about 5 minutes. We'll be back in. Take care.
Yep.
and has 110. Yeah, I guess that's quite a bit. 350 combined total supply there. But yeah, again, I'm just surprised no one's calling the gentleman truce. Hey, let's kill bottom left right now. We got 15 minutes. Rod Bunker does go down from Catch IR there to Oblivion. And this is not good. All right.
Oh, I was gonna say, oh look, Trigger's in the. Oh no, it's Starter. Oh, and he doesn't.
Maybe he's just come back from a break, so he's maybe a bit rusty. But in terms of gameplay, I think these two were something to look at.
That was Fox and Ambi, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Junus just got an epic nuke right there, nice and early, and he is somebody who I would bring a lot of parallels to Trigger, and really gets out of control quick, so he's off to a good start. Starduck also off to a good start as well here. And after that failed base snipe happened, and that, all I had to do was nuke or put a turret. After that, Starduck just did a great job of coming back and being dominant all game, so props to him for that.
We got a comment in from, I think Teal Ashtray is Kurdo, saying that he's gunning there for Starduck and Trigger, thinking the team's a bit OP.
I think so too. I think, Starduck's on fire right now, and now he's got Trigger and Fox quite a bit, having a shield tower right in your face like that.
And Fox only built it because he saw Zeteo building his. That's what I was saying. I don't know if Zeteo needed to take one in that square.
Oh no.
And what's he building? He's
Oblivion.
building a sensor tower right there.
Ooh, yeah, Oblivion's getting doubled right now.
And
Walked into Trigger's army.
And Trigger's bringing the nuke.
Oh, Triggers.
That was a Teos.
Nuke as well. They will build it, but it's going to be on.
Try and finish it off, and it looks like they might get it.
Yeah, they might get it. They just
Really good defense
down,
to
but
hold it.
Yeah. Oh, there's another nuke coming though. They're gonna get it. Oh my god.
On top of that, they get
If it doesn't go down, it's crazy. Okay, good.
But was it worth it? Was 2 nukes worth 1 bunk from Oblivion, who isn't even a threat right now? That is speed that Trigger lost, actually. So I actually totally don't like that play out of Trigger and Starduck. Birds with basically those 2 nukes killed Oblivion's confidence and dreams and made him leave. And they're probably dead anyways, but still, like, wow. What a... Maybe the cancel nailed the coffin for Zeteo. Huge. Really early.
Very good play by Starduck there, letting Trigger get the kill.
Yep.
I think that's very important, especially considering he's first in Trigger at the moment.
It's gonna live!
Oh, you got killed. It's not the whole army. The whole army has to go. Good. That was right, in my opinion.
That was crazy. But that was Junus' fault.
Why would they push there, though? Were they just going for the supply to trim the supply?
Yeah, no, it's surprising that they didn't go for Trigger stuff, right?
I would have.
No, it does not go down! Holy... That was so close to death. But meanwhile, it looks like Zeteo is going to get eliminated from this matchup. Bunker is in the orange. It's now in the red. Zeteo's calling dead. And GG for top left Zeteo. Yeah, I think so. I think what they're counting on is if they can eliminate top left, it's automatically going to force a 4v2 against bottom left. I think that's their plan. Look at how close that bunker was to death, getting pushed back. Otacon and Kurdo going for the tank snipe. They're going to get the tank!
Huge!
Alright guys, we are back for game 3 of the night. My name is Draconis. Joined in with me today is Go Get It Again and Entrari. How you guys doing?
Good dude.
Alright, doing very good. Yeah, a little bit of a short one there. Hoping that we'll get a real good, nice, long one that has a conclusion like last game. Team callouts, we got Time Traveler, also known as Fred, and Ambi together. That's going to be a interesting, powerful matchup there. We got Cash IR and Zeteo. Haven't seen that matchup in a while. Trigger and Starduck are returning champions. And then Junis and Fox. And we are jumping into the game right now.
Oh, Ambi is throwing me off. I don't think I've ever seen him be yellow.
I'm sorry?
Ambidextrous' color is yellow. I don't think I've ever seen him play yellow.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's usually a black. No one took black, so everyone's very particular about their color. So maybe he's thinking, hey, I'm 0 for 2 so far. Let me try a good old yellow here.
Go Super Saiyan, I guess.
So what did you think about the last game there, Inchari, just from a viewer perspective?
I thought it was really neat how Trigger played it. I think he did it phenomenally. Just understanding that he needed to sit back, let his partner feed and grow, and the game was going to win. But by trading, he would have weakened his position. I thought that was really smart.
What do you think of Jonas's upgrade play? We were commentating a lot on it.
I didn't get it at all. I did not understand it. I thought he was supposed to get more armor. Like there was a time in the game when he was like 14-4, and that just seemed excessive. Like I think he was trying to go for the Reaper snipe build, but he just never got there.
Yeah,
and it ended up going poorly.
And I think just in that situation with just 3 teams on the map, that wasn't really the thing there. Lessons learned, calling out team positions. Top left, we have a returning champion, Starduck and Trigger. Top right, we have Fox and Junis. Bottom right, we have Zeteo and the Cash Machine. And then we got Fred and Ambi in bottom left again. That seems to be their favorite spot. The bot favors Fred to be in bottom left.
Just a quick comment about what Junis may have been doing last game. Not a lot of time. Some of the time, when you get a bunch of money when your teammate leaves, you just smash that upgrade button, and potentially he smashed the upgrade button and was like, oh, you know what the hell with it, and then kept on going as high as he could. Yeah, and obviously, in general, you want to have as balanced upgrades as you possibly can.
Yeah, it's just, I think he could have definitely filled in at least that armor upgrade a lot sooner. He was sitting on 5 armor for the longest time, it felt like. Just while Starduck, like, inferior upgrades attack-wise was just rolling all over him. Huge nuke going down from Fox there against Trigger.
Sure.
Yeah, Starduck's been farming Fred. He got the SCV like 5 or 6 times at least. Getting lots of cash.
Familiar thing tonight, but Starduck in first. Playing great.
Who would have known? And someone must have heard you there, because they're like, we can't have none of that.
None of this.
Puts Cash IR back in first. Cash in first place, 900 points. Starduck second, 800, followed by Zeteo, 500 points. Good to see Zeteo have a good start here.
Let's go Zito. Can we get Zito a win?
I know.
No? Okay.
He's a little overdue for one. I think he just let everyone know his weakness. If he can't get to his third bunker, it's trouble.
It's all over. Saints going to last, but Trigger getting nuked early game. There's a huge difference between Trigger score and the top couple. And it just feels like it's the right play versus such a good player.
Trigger here engaging with Zeteo directly. It looks like Cash is going to be pretty darn close to a bunker. Both the top left and bottom right diagonals probably be one of the first ones to bunker, it looks like, just from the feed and upgrade strategy so far.
Ambi's on 4 armor, only 2 movement. Interesting build.
Actually played that engagement really well.
We got Silver in the chat calling out our favorite game, which is Guess the Time, that Fred is going to drop his nuke. And Silver's prediction for Fred's nuke is at the 41-minute mark. If you have any other predictions, throw it in the chat. We saw in game 1, of course, where he could have easily gotten a bunker snipe from a nuke and chose not to do it, so it is probably more random than we would want.
Ooh, nuke on Junus's bunker, and he has to cancel.
Meanwhile, Cash's bunker's in trouble too. And we got a turret coming down from Ambi here and pushing in past the bunker. So this is actually bad. Look, he can actually
Has
lock
no
into
army.
Cash.
Does Zito have army? Okay, Zito has enough army to defend. That turret's actually in a really good spot given Zito's army. Zito kind of loses his army. This will hold. But Cass there for a second didn't have any units in his bunker, and that was actually a pretty tough spot.
Only 2 SCV snipes there. I was thinking they were going to go to town on Cash's SCV snipes there.
Truck pulls his army down to cut at the exact right time. It should be able. Oh no, he decides to back off. Might end up being the right play, but he did have a good spot built for himself there.
No nukes for bottom right. That's going to make this a little bit tougher here. Cash with this forward observer. And Zeteo pushing up, being pretty aggressive here with this building play going on at the same time.
Starduck with a bunk down, Trigger throwing his down. Starduck has his nuke behind. Trigger has his nuke too. I'm not saying it can be not canceled 100% in time for the double negative, but it's almost always if they're willing to invest nukes to defend it as well. Although his army is a little bit out of position. Oh, Trigger left 1 unit to scout just in case. Like that is so. This is so good. This allows him enough time to get back if he had to. He could pull the SV off and nuke if he felt it was correct too. Was
1 nuke going down, but Starduck is still there, going for the kill. He's trying to. I think he's trying to force this nuke out from Fred. I'm sorry, Silver. You might be wrong here.
Well, Fred nuked to protect his own bunker.
And I think he's trying to will it down, and he's going to nuke snipe Fred. If Fred is not careful, he can die here. Because he knows Fred will try to hold that nuke.
Yeah, they'll have to back off here. It would have a good shot at killing that bunker off. Or at least brought his SCV to double nuke it. Oh, that is...
aggressive.
Oh, snipe the SCV. There you go.
He's not going to get that bunker.
Cass is going to back him off. Fred does end up nuking. Cass is going to save Fred's bunker some of the time by cutting off Trigger. Yeah, and Trigger, as you can see, his SCV kind of crumble across. They're still going to go for it.
Yeah, double nuke again.
Cass is saving. Bonus to him.
Yeah, they're not going to get it. Bottom right is not letting any of this happen.
You owe Cass a drink, buddy. Next time you guys meet up, give him a drink for that bunker. They're still putting pressure on him, and now that bottom right's got a little pressure coming to them, it's going to open up the game. Turret from Trigger, nuke from Trigger. This bunker is dead.
There goes Fred.
Outstanding play. Also, now it's like question marks in chat, like what the fuck just happened? Trigger, way out in front.
11 minutes into the game, we have our first elimination. Quite a big power play here, and the scores as it stands now is Starduck first place 3,000, Trigger second place 2,800, Zeteo in third place 2,400.
Yeah, and Ambi's dead too.
Yep.
He bounces. Fred's gonna get eliminated twice. It happens. Team in Pro League where I was completely eliminated. Had a half bunker building, but somebody had left after I'd already been dead, and I couldn't actually rebuild the bunker. So it's not the most embarrassing spot. I have that, but bottom left immediately dead. I'll take the under on game. This game might be over real quick.
Well, all that means is we should probably retry our zone control after dark.
Zone control after dark, babe. Am I allowed to curse now? Can I curse? Like, this would be so good.
Well, it hasn't stopped you already,
drink.
so I would say just the frequency will increase.
I can't help myself sometimes.
All right, so some politicking going on. Go Trigger, but don't feed. I like that guidance. Yeah, hey, you need to kill this guy, but for the love of God, just don't crash your units endlessly into him.
Yeah, but look at the upgrade differential. Triggers on 8686 versus 3s across the board from Fox, and even worse than that up for Junis. So the don't feed is going to be a hard task if they take a fight at all.
Yeah, and going by, I'm all for people pairing up on the leader here, but this does look premature. Look at the scores. The scores are not that different right now. It's still anyone's game, and they're kind of lined up where they can easily feed. They got the right side of the map here, so I think they're just going to, unless they're able to kill a bunker, they're just going to feed into it.
Yeah, looks like they might get Trigger's bunker.
Oh my gosh.
Trade.
It does go down.
That is game changing. Also, Zeta with the godlike shield tower in the middle.
Trigger with 0 upgrades on the bunker there, on that push.
Stark says GG while in first. Got it.
See, Zateo doesn't know that bunker went down. He's thinking what we were thinking early. And now he's like, oh, you are dead? Here, let me come finish you off. I don't know why Starduck is politicking that. That's the worst thing they can do right now.
I think Zito said something like, don't let Trigger win early, like 5 minutes ago as well, so.
Yeah, so just them saying that kind of gives Zateo and Cash courage to come back in and try to finish the deed. 6, 8, 9, 3, 5 upgrades for Starduck. Fox sitting on 5, 4, and 4, and Trigger at 6, 8, 8, 5, and 5.
Game is not too unreasonably balanced other than top left. If top left dies and the dying are split evenly through the game, we actually kind of have a game on our hands. It'll be reasonably close. Bottom right will be in a little bit better position, but it is fairly close if top left doesn't hold.
Yeah, but top right has the Rotters. So even though bottom right is, I think, a little stronger. Oh, okay. If they take ghosts, it won't be close.
Oh, there you go. That's a great call. Nobody has a sensor tower. Nobody's probably going to middle because the pressure's going to be on top left. This is actually setting up, assuming you can kill top left for late game, and that'll actually give them a huge advantage as the game kind of drags on. So I really appreciate this play.
Yeah, my only worry is if they...
Double monks.
I like the second one a lot. The worry is, I think, if you take one and top left calls it out, you might cause top right to attack bottom right instead by going such the aggressive play for ghosts. But
Yeah,
once you
There's
take
bunker
two,
is
you can
injured.
just take them.
Building 2 is risky, and I wonder if they'll keep the ghosts back. Like, will they actually filter out the ghosts?
I think that's wise. It's just tough to do.
Yeah. I think you kind of wait, hang out here a little bit, max out the army.
Look at Starduck's range. He's got 11 range now.
11 attack.
Oh,
Cass
jeez.
does. Cass has an attack and defense combined.
And Fred calling out a little bit of insight what happened there and bottom up. I guess Ambi accidentally got stemmed there, and that was
Oh,
they realized it was over at that point. 750 minerals gone.
Oh, jeez.
I've done that like twice, man. That's like curse at the top of your lungs in real life. And quit the game. I assume that's what Enemy ended up doing there. That's pretty brutal.
And Starduck calls out 2 mid bunks.
How Zito knew and built that turret or the shield tower in mid, and it's going to pay dividends as time moves forward and they eventually converge on mid. Here's Monk under heavy pressure. Probably should be able to defend. Good turret by Starduck to help him back it up. Yep, good walk back. I agree. I think somebody said tank. I agree. Somebody in the game chat. No, nobody did. Never mind. It feels like lol GG. Feels like a tank on either side is. But actually, I think that's good. They don't need the tank spot, especially with bottom left already dead. Be able to expand and do that later. That's the tough part. You do need to trade instead of feed, but
Yeah.
sit back. So as you're trading, you're going to put yourself in
Well, they're just gonna get
worse
flanked.
position. Yeah, you just stop.
Ah.
If you see it, you can go. Yeah, I was just say if Cass sees this, he can kind of go and attempt to pull him back. If Zito is with him, I'm not saying they could snipe the bunk. It's got a full set of units. Oh, it doesn't have very good upgrades. They might be able to snipe it if they went for it. It's going to be a good cut.
Yeah, Zito's gonna try to cut while Cass tries to snipe.
With the turret, I don't think he has enough army to be able to do this though. Not from Zito.
It's kind of making their own destiny now. They weren't that far ahead. Now they are getting a little bit ahead, but Trigger losing that bunker still definitely makes it anyone's game here. Here comes
I think
what looks like a snipe attempt here from Starduck.
Have enough?
You can pick off that
Bunker
supply
upgrade
depot.
0 supply. Well? Okay, well? Now he's just gonna scout. Totally understandable.
That was a lot of money that Stardock just gave to bottom right.
Cass responds with a really well placed sensor tower. They get flanked, but not for not seeing that, of course. Like just APMing with yours. Also, I agree with Cass's murking middle bunk. Like extra armor really helps, especially with those particular units. Top right is just jamming money into upgrades. Judas has about 1,000 in the bank, so I assume he's going to go ahead and get either a tank or a bunk here. Man, his upgrades a fair bit behind Trigger's. Where Fox is 5, 5, 4, 3, and 7.
There goes that sensor tower.
So Starduck, get that out of the way.
And respawn with another sensor tower.
2. That's gonna be a tough time.
And look at Junis here. That is great.
Yeah.
Starduck, Trigger, be a man, build in the other spot. Do it. Please.
Hey, this is almost becoming a zone control after dark game right here.
Have they been drinking? What's going on here?
Well, Andy's kind of breaking the gentleman's truce right here. What's he doing? He's also pushing a torch.
Yeah. Oh no, that trade was a horrible time. That tank is gonna finish now.
It's killing my SCV, sorry. Classic.
Has enough range to hit the bunk.
Now,
the bunk is, I mean, it's got enough regen to be able to get it back, but that bunk is losing like 200 health and then regen immediately. It's pretty fun.
And
I think Fox needs to push right now if they want to stop that tank.
If top left pulls this off, it's going to be hilarious. Like already mad respect to top left, but they will be in the position to talk so much trash to him afterwards anyway.
Yeah. Junis's units, because they're so close to Cass's, are fighting each other as they're 1Aing across the map. Okay, now they reevaluate the rally point there and split them up. But that bunker's just slowly taking damage.
See Trigger in a great support position.
Trigger got I actually had Peter Griffin tell me that Trigger told him that Trigger actually has practiced getting the tank attack while it can move upgrade. Sorry, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. And he's used that to his advantage. He has 5 defense or 5 armor on it, and he got that upgrade.
Yeah, because what it acts as is a tank, like it tanks damage from the army. Like it's like a moving turret.
A 25k health. Somebody else has to make a tank at this point.
I don't think it'll matter.
It will have to be like, it might actually have to be 2 tanks, top right tank, bottom right tank, and then a combined, as best you can, push between the 2.
I just think the upgrades are too strong. I think if top left pushes on either side, they can just push through it. Even though they all have ghosts now.
What do you think Trigger's next move is? Does he get another bunker, or is he just going to go mad Rommel style with the tanks and get the upgrade and everything?
I remember that guy. That's hilarious.
I think he should get another bunker, but I don't know what he's going to do.
He just dumped
Alright.
it. Yep, he's going for rod. He's going for rod. There it is, right there.
I think trying to
Only trigger.
trade in the middle.
Yeah, only trigger. 3 middle bunkers. Screw it. Let's go rods. Right? So. And there's
the
the
middle.
Arcalite cannon that you were talking about right there.
He can do work with that, especially given the other player's upgrades relative to how strong that tank is. He can definitely put in work. Looks like Cass picking out, attempting to snipe around the side, but forward he can't really back up. Although his upgrades aren't too much of all other than range, aren't too much ahead of Farzito's.
Junis tank pushing. I don't know if tank is pushing or trolling right now. Startup with supply depots.
Zito does have a tank and 2 dimes behind. I wonder if he's gonna invest in Splash. Would be interesting.
Yo, Dakota, that Rommel comment was absolutely gold. I just stepped in to say that.
All right.
I love that
awesome.
Rommel.
It was godlike. It was definitely godlike.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. Good luck.
Okay.
Dude. They are pushing a tank. That's a good call from Cass. This tank's gonna catch heat, but they decided to throw a bunch of turrets in front of it. Zito does bring his tank up, should be able to snipe their turrets if he scoots it. Oh, no, it's just barely in range.
This is gonna
I'm not
be
saying they're gonna lose
close.
the tank.
It's
Plus
looking
1.
like they can, and they might. Where's the
Zito needs to snipe that.
SCVs?
Oh, Zito is going to snipe it.
It does go
Good
down.
job. Good shit, Zito. On the back end, though. Oh, nope, he has to back off. Zito, really well done there.
That's going to deflate a little bit of their momentum. Starduck's still in a decent position here, but Trigger, and that was a lot of his economy there.
Just going to acknowledge that Zito, and this is not to hate on Zito because this was very good. I think there was one game, it was a late game situation, like real high APM where you're getting around. I think he walked 5 tanks through the middle and lost them. This is maybe season 1
Yep.
of this league.
I remember the game. I don't remember if it was Zateo or not, but yeah, it was very
It was a
sad
tough
because
one.
they clearly had the game, and then they clearly did not.
Much better. Sniping that tank, acknowledging that you were defending and then needing to snipe the tank at the same time was really well played there by Zito, so good shit, Zito. Ooh, Fox going to move a tank. Trigger's bunker, otherwise it might hit Zito's bunker. Just by natural, the way the tank works. Junis expanding closer to Trigger as well.
He's saying protect me, but Starduck is pushing on bottom right here.
There was no armor on the tank.
If
Where's his
he
SCV?
reverses direction, yeah. I think he does reverse
Go ahead.
direction now, but I think that's not the right time. Trigger
Bunker
wasn't
by
in
Trigger
enough.
is dead. Yep.
Wow.
Repairing
just-
by Cass on.
He didn't have enough
Zito's
supply,
tank.
but it looked like he was pushing bottom right enough to where he could just rubber band right up to Fox's tank after that. But alas, it did not happen. And this tank is
Top
moving
right
in
is
for
bigger.
Trigger.
Tank
How
needs to
should
be
your
repaired.
SCVs to repair that tank?
Yeah, why put
Yes,
the tank
I
there?
completely agree.
Put the tank up at the top and just at least eliminate one person. Oh my gosh, this tank could go down!
500! 200! It's down!
The dream. Eric's gonna clean up the armies too. He's got such oh no, he has to back off. He's gonna lose supply, but not the worst thing ever. Especially even he has 2,500 in the bank.
Meanwhile, this tank doing nothing. I think they got to get a little aggressive.
I think they can. I think bottom right's army can hold off Starduck's alone army. Like basically, Starduck can't overrun them at this point, especially with the middle units there. But yeah, I agree that tank should probably move forward, but hopefully not overcommit. Or just chilling outside of Trigger's base. Bottom right is in a very good spot, especially as this continues. I want to say if they can, and they might actually kill off Trigger with this tank in a really, really good spot. Starduck is going to have to pull back. If he loses supply here, it's completely worth, and they're going to get this tank. Good job by Starduck pulling over when he needed to. It's losing a couple things of supply here is totally worth killing that tank off. Fly, okay, I'll lose 10.
And this is going to put top right in a very, very terrible position now. I mean, they are clearly behind. They've lost, what, 2 tanks?
Yeah, 2 tanks.
And meanwhile, bottom right is expanding. They got double mid bunkers. They got a tank. Like, what do you do if you're top right at this point?
Play spoiler. That's about as much as you can do. Trigger's upgrades no less than double, in some cases triple, Junus's upgrades across all stat lines.
Same for Fox. It's even worse for Fox, actually.
This means nothing. Cass has 2 units in his mid bunk. Junus's mid bunk is slowly actually losing health. It'll take a while.
Well, as those
We'll have to-
just pop out and keep shooting it.
Yeah, they keep shooting it.
Zateo pushing this
Legitimate
tank up on
GG call.
Starduck.
Re-expanding with 2K in the bank behind it. Now moving his or had moved his tank up. This bunker should die as Starduck's supply is low at this point.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think
Elena-
Fought Right's got this. Took forever. Man.
There has 2 SCVs and 3K in the bank. I think Starduck needs an SCV. He has enough. Yeah, he has almost enough for 2 SCVs. Although this might be one of those spots where they get whittled down, save a bunch. Well, the Trigger now has 2 SCVs, but they might get whittled down. The other teams will realize they have to switch, and then you build right back up. So we'll see what happens.
Maybe. I think top right is so scared.
I would almost argue Chop Right needs to switch. I mean, it sucks because Trigger's
They lost momentum
so-
on that sniping that bunker. I think he lost vision of it too. Yeah, he has no vision of the bunker, and that bunker just instantly comes back to full health there.
SCVs. I don't think a tank can kill it by itself with 4 SCVs repairing it. What is their upgrades? Oh, 13 and 12? That bunker will never go down. Mathematically, it's not possible for it to die with just 1 tank hitting it. Right, it has to be
Another
absurdly
call.
captured.
Yeah, I think they need to spread out turrets, just hold, and if they are able to hold, just this early in the game,
Yes,
we're only
please.
40 minutes in, a turret push, even with 4 or 5 SCVs, can be very, very dangerous, especially if there's
I
no
could-
tanks left on the field. And again, you push top right on that, because top right is very, very weak. Clear them out, and then expand to the right.
That bunker won't die to 1 tank.
Look at this forward turret play here on Zateo's tank.
Oh, so good.
If the other SCVs return in kind,
At least his army are able
it's
to
not
move
enough.
forward.
It's not enough. He needed a little bit of help there from Trigger. They probably weren't on the same page. The Trigger's got 2 SCVs locked up over here at the top right.
Trigger is going to destroy top right. I mean, it's coming. Trigger is going to walk over there. When he gets enough supply and enough resupply, top right can't hold him. He's basically 20'd off. 8 on attack. Yeah, like it's gonna be really, really hard. Well, 5 for Fox. Oh my goodness. What the? What the fuck? What is Fox doing? Does somebody see this? He's building 13 sensor towers. Because why not? Over on the
I
right.
feel like he's tilted.
But
Hey guys, that mid bunker.
That
about
might
to die. I'm not saying this is a throw, but
Yeah, I think they've lost a little bit of hope.
transfer to Junus and leave. I know that's like not kosher, but seems a little bit better than this. Deny that you left and it was like a lag or something. The tank has been hitting the bunker from doing nothing.
It's costing him a few minerals, right? She has to repair.
That's
I have to say at this point, I'm rooting for top left. I know Trigger's won a
Yeah.
lot of games. I'm rooting for him here.
Vito sniping the SCVs though, that was pretty big. Stop the repair.
Oh, with 20 attack? Okay, 20 attack, 17 defense, low regens, okay. Cass with 15 attack. The problem for bottom right is as soon as top, or I'm sorry, but yeah, bottom right, as soon as top right dies, they're dead. They're not going to have the upgrades, they're not going to be able to defend the turrets that come down.
Look at the trigger train up here.
A well-played game. Irrelevant of the result, another well-played game. Gotta watch out, he's got a lot of turrets around that thing. He's gotta actually kill all these sensor towers and pocket like 1,000. The minimap looks like a cool Venn diagram, I guess. Throw that out there. Next one over. Bro, this intentionally is like giving up.
Yeah, I mean, Fox's upgrades are so bad. If that money went to upgrades,
He threw it into Junis. He should have dumped it into Junis. Yeah.
yeah, that could have been better too. But,
It's the spot. Can't even throw the game right. If they could make any leeway. Oh! Okay, where's SUVs? But. Oh, there they are throwing turrets. If Zito could have built another tank would have done it. Another tank would have killed this bunker off.
Yeah,
like, no doubt. It would have done enough
needed.
damage.
And he's at 15. He just got back to 1500 right now, so we'll see if he does it. But it's kind of late now. Trigger's gonna wipe up with top right and then immediately push into him.
Might actually fall. Where's this SUV? Is he building? Or no, it should survive. Should be able to kill us off. Good job. His SUV is repairing, so that's good. Should dump. Well, maybe he was. Cass is going to build a tank. I assume walk it up. This might just fall. They do have 20 attack, or at least Evo does. So 16. Empty SUVs, please.
I'm assuming both, Citeo and, Cassiar used their nukes, right?
I think everybody's nuked out this game so far, unless they build another.
Is Fox just starting the game? Like, what's going on?
It very much looks that way.
I think you could make a strong argument that's what's happening.
This should be like a.
I agree.
We agree. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Well, there's that second tank we were talking about earlier, but I think it's
Just need to
too late.
scoot forward just a little bit. So this is,
There
I
we
mean,
go.
this hasn't been terribly exciting. Yeah, Trigger's has done his job and destroyed everybody. Starduck has done really a good job of defending. He's going to lose it. Well, no, Trigger's going to cut them off. Interesting. Yeah, this game, I would argue. It's one tank, goes to tank 2. Good job, Trigger.
Alright, guys.
The fighting wins from the back, man. Good shit.
And it does look top left will get this. That will conclude the 3 matches for tonight, but we might be back on in just a little bit for some unranked, just fun games to try to see if we have enough people on. It looks like we definitely do have the player count right now. If so, we will be on shortly with that at the conclusion of this game. So stay tuned there. Right now, it's more just waiting for top left to clean up at this point. I don't see bottom right coming back from this.
I'm going to remix an old saying. I think the old saying is something like there are 2 guarantees in life, death and taxes. I'm going to add a third, Trigger winning a Pro League game. I've changed my mind. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't lose. Just really incredible. Bounces. Junis! Okay, almost.
All right, and that is it, guys. Again, we will be back just shortly. Stay tuned. If not, then we'll come on back and let you know. But I have a feeling we might roll with some more there. Stay tuned, guys.
Sayonara.
Oh,
Or
maybe
no, it
he
does
saved
not
he
go
saved
down.
it.
Holy. That was so close to death. But meanwhile, it looks like Zateo is going to get eliminated from this matchup. Bunker is in the orange. It's now in the red. Zateo's calling dead. And GG for top left Zateo. Yeah, I think so. I think what they're counting on is if they can eliminate top left, it's automatically going to force a 4v2 against bottom left. I think that's their plan. Look at how close that bunker was to death, getting pushed back. Otacon and Kurta going for the tank snipe.
Oh,
They're
no,
going to
he's
get the
gonna lose that
tank.
Huge. It's game changing right there.
Exactly.
Oh, but Cyrus is maybe going to be able to get that bunker up because everyone's pushing towards middle right now.
Great cut
That was
there
a great
from Otacon and Cyrus. A little bit overextension though, it looks like. Oh my gosh. Like if they get
Are
the
they
SCV
going to be
snipe.
able to get the SCV?
Oh no.
Oh my
no!
god.
Oh,
Poor
boy.
Cyrus. Looks like both bunks will get canceled.
Over trigger with that Reaper composition he has.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Alright, so it looks like it's pretty much all on trigger. I mean, RC is trying to just rebuild, so he's, trying to do what he can.
Yeah, but
If he gets this, he's going to be able to definitely win this game, I believe.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Wow, Trigger saved it.
1,500 points on that bunker left.
Yeah, what are the upgrades?
Upgrades whatsoever, it just melts. They're gonna keep rolling.
They might be able to get a second one right now.
He dumps 3/3 armor, but it's already
Oh,
50% down in health.
There he goes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
close, so close, so close.
I think
it goes
does go
down.
Wow.
But at what cost though? Look at them. Look at them. Look at
Yeah, they're well. Okay. Well, top left just saved them from utter destruction.
All this sniping going for the bunk, and he got it. I actually would not have done that in game, so good shit, dude.
Me
Good play.
neither.
And I'm surprised we saw this last game too. Actually, from Oblivion, he got punished with this early supply. That seems to be the thing going on right now. But look, this supply depot is just gonna fall. He
No.
ignores the supply.
Oh,
He goes
wow,
right
is he
for the
going
for
back
the
bunker. He goes
It's done.
right for the back.
Crazy.
Wow.
Oh,
worst
and
boy.
RCJH
Oh my
Cyrus
It'd be
is
one
tanking.
thing
That's why they're doing it. Look, Fred's going up for the tank snipe right now. Cyrus sees it, gets the first shot off, but it's still going to be enough. They might just trade tanks, though. It is going to be a tank trade automatically. Will they be able to roll through and get Trigger's bunker right after that is the question. They're focusing
thing's
it down.
Yeah, top right.
Oh, don't run.
Don't run. Finish the bunker. All
It was
right.
over. Okay, get saying. Woo. Game. Just saying.
Yeah, it's more just it's an all-in strategy, and I think that I think this is where we see Oblivion die. I don't think they're gonna switch on this.
Oh, on another note, I want you guys to notice his turret.
He can
didn't
snipe the
upgrade
tank.
time. He
Snipe
didn't
the
upgrade it.
tank?
Oh my gosh,
Oh, he
they
did.
didn't catch it. They didn't see the shift. Oh no, maybe because Fred
Oblivion.
was typing. I have no idea. What a
I'd
great
like-
play.
He needs more turrets. He needs more turrets.
One
Has to
tank
focus
down.
that tank. Oh, he could have focused it.
Yeah, get the tank. Get the tank. He misclicked. He misclicked. Oh my gosh,
Said
Fred's gonna
fucking
get the
and
tank
went for
away.
top left. Oh my goodness! I wonder what their win condition is if they mark top left.
I don't know if he can get this tank still. His guys just do no damage. Tank
Get
says
this
300, 200, 100.
129.
Oh, he barely goes down.
No,
Hey guys, just giving you an update. We are going to roll with some unranked games for Zone Control After Dark. We're finishing the setup right now. We'll be with you in just a moment. Thanks for staying with us so far. Those that have, we'll see you in just a bit.